Family, what's good? My name is Jordan Live. Welcome to another really random thoughts. I'm gonna have my man Sub with me. I'm gonna have my man The Game with me. And guess what, man? We just gonna rock out for a little bit. I'm a little under the weather. I feel like I'm getting sick. So please bear with me. But check this out though. You already know how we started off. We got Blessed One in the building. Escape the maze, yo. I gotta escape that maze, man. Escape that maze. Let's go.
Escape the maze. Escape the maze. Escape the maze. I had to tell you about the World Trade with different centers. It was never 9/11 until the eclipse of the House members was seeing genetic coding. Had to understand this wasn't made with no Coley. This was a King Copper, no copper with no gold, black strong. Who can understand till we King Kong get along? No, we can't sing no song. This ain't no follow for the sorrows of the days. Different days I had to understand this is a pain. Different chapters of my life get rearranged. You had to understand you have the eclipses of the different days. Time glitch in the time path and the time warp. You understand this shit never went slow and dark. This is a door from a dark stars and a blowing up. See me like a spade and H and H and the H. Great H and seeing me all smiling in my face and faces can't get erasures, just the elapses, no relapses. Niggas asking me like what's happening. I'm trying to grow a better time this good. I wanna rap it into a pattern so you catch this and you can't get past goals and you rapture. Moving like this a lapse, then I relapse and I'm still relapsing on fast. Little past pretenders. Moving over here like this still a chicken dinner. You can catch it like Tello. Cause you ask her, I'm still up in that cello. Mind my own dwelling. Moving over here to the ceiling fan where I fell in. I'm actually my deeper in the feelings. I asked God what about the convicts to the felons. She asked about me, but I see her. Moving like I see right through her. Her dark is like Noah's Ark. It fell apart through the winter, then the dark trail. Sunny days I can't come over, okay? This is for all my blessed ones and my melons. Shed rebellions. I still catch it like the different Jewelins, moving like the Jews, not spitting like no feathers. There's a crime with a patterns, not on that track. Adopt that track, I didn't follow this track, beat the track just like that. Nigga, I am your son and father, and the Holy Trinity, you can cross that. No Catholic preacher, but just living like I got you. Holy Ghost, niggas do the most, and I can tell you, no recurs and no raptures, but you can catch them like you was creeping.
Yo.
I come back just like the Reaper, take your lights out.
Yo. What's going on?
What's going on, Jordan? Hey, Jordan, do me a favor real quick, family. Peep the hangout.
I got you. How's everything going? Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you as clear as sound can be, my friend. How are you doing this evening? You alright? Good evening, Vera. Good evening, room.
I'm good, man. You know I'm all right, man. I feel like I'm coming under the weather, man. I feel like I'm getting sick or something. You know what I mean?
It's been through here, bro, for weeks now, though. There was hundreds of kids off school and everything because of the colds and the bugs and everything that's been around, bro. It's been unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. You already know. It's like the kids are like the quickest to get sick, huh? Like, the kids get it, then the adults get it, and we're just all miserable.
It's the time of year to be miserable anyway. No jokes, but no, because obviously it gets to the kids because their immune system isn't like ours, and that's
True.
the way it happens, though.
Of course, it's weaker.
Oh.
I'm with you.
So yeah, what's the topic of discussion tonight then, Jordan? What's your random thoughts?
Oh my God, just randomly, man. I'm just randomly thinking of just a whole bunch of other things. Like the other night, how we talked about how 2020, what's it going to be like musically? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we spoke about. This time, and we also got into a big hip hop history fact as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know from you, and I also want to know from The Game when he gets in. I want to know from a whole bunch of other people as well. I want to know what can ruin music in 2020. And what I mean by ruin is what is the sound or what is the cadence that we're gonna hear next year that's just gonna make everybody go, ugh? You know that one song that happens on the radio that you hear and you're just like, oh, change it. You
I
know
do,
what
bro,
I
and I
mean?
think the way music's going, to be honest, bro, it's going to be the same. Something has to be done to break the cycle of the electronic sound that's within music. And
I
that's
agree.
really, really hard to do because, as we know, technology plays a massive part within our lives.
I definitely agree. Plays a significant part. Gotta say what's up to the chat. Darth Vader, what's going on? Game Not Fair, what's going on, man? Hey, the game, jump in anytime. Hey, the stream yards is right there, man. Hey, you can change your name, bro. You can change the name to whatever you want it to be. You get what I'm saying? So I just gotta hear, man. When I think of 2020, man, I'm really thinking of a year that's gonna make a lot of people, right? Let's be honest, a lot of us millennials or a lot of us 90 babies, we're turning 30 this year. We're turning 30. 30.
Welcome to the 30s, bro.
I'm just saying, man, and I feel like you walk up to the average 22, 23-year-old and you ask them what you want to do, they'll just look at you. They'll be like, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, because there's not many opportunities these days. Because everything's one track minded, though, bro. So when people try to look at the different avenues, they already see an abundance of people do that, and it's the same with everyone. Something new has to be developed somewhere, and I think musically it could happen, but I think every aspect of business within everything may have run out now. Something new's got to come along because I'm still noticing the same repetitive cycle from 5 years ago within music.
So how you feeling about, and let me ask you a question. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm different from top of the topic, but you just brought up something really good, right? Especially in the UK, right? Because I know it's a big problem in the US. The problem of student loans. And student loans really stopping people from finding and tiring that higher education. What's your biggest what do you think about student loans as a whole, as a general?
I don't like it because you shouldn't have to pay for something you need to know about.
There we go.
And I say that from a point of how much it cost my sister to get a degree. Because 1 year in university out here is, I think, £9,000, and if I'm right, that would be about $13,000 a year for universities.
I know one guy who went to several universities, right? All pretty much all for music. I think he got one for business. He got a master's in business. And he got something else for music production. Over $100,000 in student loans. I said, Jesus Christ.
That's for the rest of your life, unless you make it big from what you do, though. But with the way music's been saturated with the people's attention to it and wanting to learn, music is not an escape route anymore.
Sadly, can you just imagine that? And that's debt. Like that's debt. You owe that. Doc Vader said, I would like to see more artists use actual bands in concerts. I've been seeing actually more of that, Dark Vader.
Darth Vader,
I actually see more
sorry
of
to
that.
cut you off, Jordan. It started to re-emerge within the East Coast again, though, because Prodigy, rest his soul, from Mobb Deep was doing a lot of stuff. Tech Nine does it, but as well, though, what you need to get your ears trained to is the difference between something that's been created from a computer and live, because in general there is still a lot of live instrumentation, but because we're muddled between the differences of the two, it's just picking out which one you understand as the authentic sound. Because, like for instance, Jordan, I don't know if you remember, but Travis Porter dropped the album, and that was all live instrumentation.
I remember. I definitely remember. I definitely
all
remember.
live instrumentation. A lot of people didn't realize.
Sorry, I'm trying to talk to him. So I'm trying to help the game get on here. Difficult, but trying to help him get on here.
No problem. As well, Vader, I would say though, live instrumentation, I would say, has always played parts of hip hop anyway, especially with the different sounds and things that have been created more into a digital sound, because everything's got to be created from something. So a lot of the sounds that you hear in production are predominantly live instruments, unless you're creating the sound yourself. But within music itself, I agree with concerts and things. Yeah, it's got there should be a twist of a live band in, because I find live instrumentation is the authentic way of bringing the music.
And I definitely do agree with that, with what you were saying, Vader, because there used to be a time, literally, where it was just the artist and the DJ just screaming at people. Just screaming at people. And you'd be like, well, damn, I want to see an actual band. I want to see a concert. I completely understand that. You know what Action Bronson did one time? Action Bronson, he didn't have a DJ. He didn't have a sound guy. It was him, and it was a fucking button. And he would press the button and it would play the song, and he'd rap over that.
One thing I don't agree with, bro, right? When it comes to concerts, and I wish artists would stop doing this to a degree, right? Playing the songs with the actual vocals on it and they're spitting over it. I've come to see them spit the actual track, not spit something that they've already spat over.
I'm 50-50 with you. I don't mind it being used on choruses.
Choruses are different. I'm on about raps, bro. I understand the choruses.
Right.
Raps, verses, because I want to understand like what you're talking about in your verse. But I want to see it from a physical point of view when I'm at a concert.
No, I definitely do understand what you mean. Like, definitely, like, as far as like spitting your verses, spitting your rhymes. Yeah, hell yeah. We definitely do want to see you. And that's why I was saying I was 50-50, because, you know, sometimes he's my. I remember one time, and I never forget 50 Cent, man.
Sorry, bro, you're going to have to repeat what you said because you cut out a little bit.
Oh, Cutter, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Bro, is it easier for you to call up on the Hangouts as well?
Well, if I call up on the Hangouts as well, it's not going to be as clear to the people as it was. It sounds like we're all on the phone versus how it sounds nowhere.
Oh, right, because I think Game's having an issue with getting on it. That's why, though. It's the same issue as the last time. I think it's the whole sign-up thing.
Did you have an issue joining the stream, Sub?
No, I didn't, because as I said, though, with the way I use my phone, though, it just automatically lets me come onto it. Unless I've already got it, unless I've already signed in and got it linked up to my Google. I can't remember.
Yeah, that is strange. Let me see. Let me text the game one more time, because I really want to have this. I'll go on OBS conversation. So give me just one more second. I'm definitely with you, man. There is definitely nothing more annoying than like hearing the artist in a live show just they're just rapping behind it. That is annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Especially when they're off key and they're not on time with the vocals, bro. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Jordan, are you there, bro? Because it keeps cutting in and out on me.
So, can you hear me? Am I even on this thing? Hold on 1 second. I'm telling y'all, StreamYards is fucking up big time. StreamYards need to get y'all shit together. Okay, well, I can hear myself perfectly. Hey, so I just dropped the stream once again on here. If y'all want to talk about it, man. If y'all just want to talk about anything randomly, man. Anything randomly going on. Holiday season. Everybody about to be out with their family. The highways and the byways is about to go crazy. The highways and the byways is about to be crazy. That's going to get on people's nerves. Is all that damn traffic. Let's see what's going on here. Hope you hear my dog in the background. Well, not my dog, somebody else's damn dog. But yeah, man, I just want to see. I really, honestly, I really want to see more artistry. BRB there, my net tripped out. Yeah, I figured that, brother. It's okay. It's all good. But yeah, man, I really just want to see more artistry. I want to see more percussionists. I want to see more guitarists. I want to see more bass. That's what I want to see. But I get it. We're in a digital age. We're going to hear more digital music. We're going to hear more digital tracks and whatnot. And the brother's back. What's going on?
My internet just tripped out for two minutes, bro. Apologies for that.
Oh, no apologies needed, brother. No apologies needed. No apologies needed. Have you ever heard of DJ Academics?
Respectfully or disrespectfully, bro?
Anyway. Anyway, you might.
I can tell you, he's all right. He was one of the first few bloggers that really caught my attention with stuff that I was researching and things, bro, especially when it was coming down to Chicago and things. But when I've started watching him and realizing, nah, he isn't for me, especially the stuff with Joe Budden and things like that, bro, because regardless of who Joe Budden was within the hip hop community, he is still an elder as well. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't like the sort of tension it was bringing because there is still a lot of us elders who are trying to bridge the gap with the youth. And people setting examples like that is not good.
You mean as far as
a person, I'm not a big fan, but is the content and stuff, bro, it's good. I've had my purpose with them.
Well, I'm just saying, you mentioned Joe Budden and that whole little that platform that they had. You had a problem with that platform?
Yeah, because I didn't like how academics sometimes came onto Joe Budden, but I'm saying that because of the way I was brought up with my elders, though.
That's an interesting take, man, because I actually thought Joe Budden made academics look like a fool a couple times.
Yeah, bro, because you've got to flip the coin on it, bro, though, because you're talking to someone who is an elder to you, bro, right? But also they've got a reason and the purpose as to why they've done it. He may have stepped out of line or needed checking with something, no, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it's stuff like this. This is what people are finding confusing when it comes to the elders, yeah, because there's two ways, bro, yeah. I could sit with you and talk to you quietly or do something like that, bro. Do you know what I mean? I would prefer to go sit quietly, but if it's a heat of the moment thing, bro, it is what it is. But I understand, bro, like to the youngsters, that may be coming across as a disrespectful act. But like I've stated previously to you, Jordan, look at the way that we were brought up. Look at the way that other people were brought up. Because it doesn't matter if we argue, bro, and I stated it last night, we're still learning something. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't mean that we agree with the opinion. And some opinions might be a tough pill to swallow, but if it's a tough pill to swallow for you, it's touched you and hurt you in a way that you've had to sit back and pay attention to.
Agreed. Definitely.
Because again, bro, do you think some of us elders like to step out and check someone when we need to for something? No, we don't. It's only necessary for when we need to.
You know, when you said that, I thought about what the game said about XXXTentacion and how he called it. He said, if that man don't change up his lifestyle, something's going to happen to that brother. And look what happened to that brother. So I definitely understand what you mean. God rest his soul. Because the youth, I don't give a fuck if they're onto these pills, the lean or whatever. You have got to listen to what your elders are saying, man, because they're telling you the truth. This industry is effing you dry. Ask Lil Uzi right now. You know how long he wanted to get his music out?
He's got it out now, but is he enjoying it? That's the question, bro.
Even so, man. Eternal.
That's all I've got to say.
Eternal Etake. I think that's the name of the album. That was supposed to come out 3 years ago. But you know who said no? The label. These artists better wake up and start seeing that this independence, although you're going to work harder, you better bet your ass you're going to work harder.
Go ask Master P. Go ask J Prince. Go ask DJ Screw. Go ask 1,000 independent artists from the South who've done it before you if you can do it. And you can do it. They've left the platform there for you to follow. It's just how they follow. Because at the end of the day, I would love to put 140% into doing the project, but that extra 40% is doing the 40% necessary to get it out there, bro.
Right.
I don't need to rely on no one to do it, and that's the problem with these youngsters. They're thinking just because they're popping on one platform, they're going to pop on a different one. And when you're trying to merge from like say an independent side where you go drop a demo off, bro, to what the labels are looking for, every time that you're doing that, you're throwing a curveball to the label for them to start waking up and realizing, look, this is something they need to pay attention to.
Agreed. Like these artists really need to start being more than just artists. Y'all really need to be artists and businessmen at the end of the day. Or at least sit down with a lawyer. At least
learn it yourself. Because corner that I'm standing from a personal point of view.
Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people, they might need somebody to break down that language that sometimes that would be in that paperwork, but I get what you're saying.
Well, why would you go pay a lawyer $1,000 or something for an hour, a music lawyer, when you go look at it online and understand and learn it your damn self?
Only because of the simple fact that they would like to put those little words in there to trip you up, that only a lawyer or a professional that really be able to break it down.
No, bro, go take the word and go search what that word means and break it down yourself and see how it benefits you. Because that's the thing with contracts, you're 100% right. They put all these little sneaky words in. Hold on.
Yeah, they will. They'll put all kinds of little shit in there. All kinds. Let me see. Okay.
And it's those little words like and things like that, bro, that always get somebody and absolutely crucifies them. Because an advancement is basically you own the label back. And if you don't make smart advancements with the advance that you've got from the label, they don't want to know you. Because as soon as you're signed to a major, you are, as people love throwing around, an ambassador for them.
That's one of the oh my god! Yeah, you're right about that, man. You're right about that. That's one of the things I hate about it too. These artists flashing this flashy mail, or not mail, Jesus Christ, but cash and whatnot. Got a big old stack of cash in your hand. I'm like, okay, you don't think the government looking at that? Like, Now, how much
what
is
I ask
actually
myself?
fact?
I was thinking, you know what it is, bro? All the time when I say shit like that, I say, who do you owe it to, or where did you get it from? Because there's no way, if these people, unless you get the media doing it, that's fine. But the way these people are, though, bro, that's the only two things I can say. Because you've just called it, the police are going to be looking at it, though, because social media plays a massive relevance in everything. Because I'll tell you something, here's an interesting fact. You know how Uncle Luke and everything had the issues with the police and stuff like that? Well, Sibo, the rapper from Sacramento, he went to jail for lyrics in 97, 98, I think it was.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he did, bro. So I understand about the content and stuff like that, though, but people are not realizing, bro, as well. It's just a cycle. They just come to take what they want, do what they need, push back out. Because this is what I'm hoping with it coming into a new decade, bro. There's going to be a breath of fresh air within music. I don't know what's going to come out, but I do not want to hear next year the same old thing that I've been hearing every summer.
I definitely agree. Automan Empire, what's going on, man? Salute to you. I ain't never seen you in the room, so you definitely knew. Salute to you. Thank you very much for you know what I mean.
Salute Automan Empire. Blessings,
man.
bro.
Checking out the platform. I appreciate it. So Tia says StreamYard wants us all to pay. That's why you can't even get on with a VPN. It'll pop an error 404 pop up. Oh my god. StreamYard, listen. StreamYard is y'all really getting up my nerves. And I'm paying y'all money every month. Y'all really getting on my goddamn nerves because I'm not understanding why my people can't join. I really don't. If need be, what I'll do, if this doesn't work in another 5 minutes, I'll just call Game on Hangouts and we'll just do it the getaway. Fuck it.
No problem, bro. No problem. Can I just say as well, but we're talking about the industry and stuff like that, bro, yeah?
You can talk about whatever the fuck you want, man. Talk to me. I talk back.
360s, bro. Right, 360-degree deals basically mean 99% of your money's gone before you've even made it.
But you know what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. You're 100% right about that, sub. But to these know nothing, have nothing, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, those 360 deals look like fucking blessings from above, dog.
Yeah, bro, and I can understand that because of backgrounds and things like that and what they go through. Completely agree, though, bro. But, right, the way I look at it is the 360 deals are the new D game, bro. Do you know what I mean?
The new what?
Unless you're doing... I'm keeping it the new game, bro, as in the dope game. Because there's so many the hands you've got to feed and mouths you've got to keep happy, bro, right? Unless, though, because this is how I worked it out, bro, right?
Right.
Your sales don't mean shit when you're in a 360-degree deal, in my eyes, because that's all paid back to the label. It's your merchandise in the shows where you can capitalize the money from.
But see, but I don't, and I'm definitely with you with the 360 deals, but that's why I feel like that's the problem, right? The veterans know what the game is, right? You know what I mean? The OGs of the game, they know what the fuck a 360 deal is. They're not even thinking of a 360 deal. It's the new cats that you see, man. It's the new cats that you see on the radio. And then guess what? They'll sign those 360 deals. They'll flaunt their cash on Instagram. They'll flash their chains, their cars, their everything on Instagram, right? And then 2-3 years later, I hate the label. The label won't let me release the music. I got this fire music, but they won't let me release it. It happens every time, son.
Because again, just like I said, bro, it's because you're an ambassador of the label. You've got a reputation to keep up. They don't always want to see you in a negative light. They want to see the positivity that you bring, and if the negativity outweighs the positivity of how they perceive you, you're done with, bro. That's why it happens. Because a label looks at you as an investment. If, say, for instance, bro, me and you were on a label, bro, and I was pulling in more, right? Say I was pulling in 2 mil a year and you were pulling in, say, 800,000. Who do you think they're going to stick with? You've had a more negative image and I've had a more positive one. Who they're going to stick with? That's all I'm going to say, though. And this is what they don't understand, because it is how the labels are perceived. It is a business, but it's how they get the youth suckered into it. They don't realize you're not making nothing unless you're going to do it your damn self, because when you do it yourself, get all your licenses and stuff, you've probably got that back within, say, less than 1,000 sales of whatever you're doing independently.
Right. But you're gonna have but man, independency means you're working your ass off.
Bro, but would you prefer someone to
every fucking day that you're
bro,
your ass independent? I'm just saying to the youth that might not seem like a feasible idea. Pushing everything for you, setting up everything for you. When you're independent, that's all on you. That's on you. You know what I mean?
Bro, who's the best way of bringing your music out? Yourself or somebody that doesn't know you? As I look at labels.
You said
look at how Master. Sorry, bro.
Wait, say that again. You cut out for a second.
Who is the best to bring your music out? Yourself or somebody who doesn't know you?
Of course,
because that's how I look at that's why I say stick with independent. Yes, you may have to go 140% for, right? But again, look at how Master P did it. He got the best publishing deal I've ever seen within music, in particular hip hop, bro. That's how he had the money. Because he worked out, bro, because I'll tell you now, if you do not own your publishing for music, you are worth 0 pence to the music industry. Sorry, to yourself because of your music. When you have it independently, bro, and you go into deals and stuff, you still have it with their conditions applied to it. So instead of me, for instance, bro, I sell a track for $1.29, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? Instead of me making 24 cents off it, I'll make $100 off it. That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? But because for again 360s, you've got, for instance, 10 mouths to feed off it, right? Every sale, you've got a percentage of mouths to feed off it with a label. When it comes to independent, yes, you've still got mouths to feed, but it doesn't have a substantial damage on your overall take per track.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yes, again, I respect that everybody, especially the youth these days, bro, are living a fast lifestyle. Completely respect that. But yet some of them have to step back and say, hold on, why am I saying this? Why am I saying that? Why is this? Why is that when it comes to music, bro? Because again, Master P started off with a $10,000 inheritance from his grandfather when he passed away and set up No Limit Records, what was a record store. A mom and pop's record store, and the rest is history. Because he was being influenced at the time, bro, from the artists within the Bay Area when he was living in Richmond. And they always used to give him encouragement to do it. And he done it.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Queen T, I just seen you in here. If you can't come back in, I'm sorry. I'll put the link back in their game. I hope you could just try one more time for me, bro. Because I really want you in here, man. We speaking that knowledge right now. Like, the sub is giving a hip hop history right now. Because you're right about that. But here's the thing, and let me just put something to you, sub. I'll put a new artist right now on the hot seat, right? Lil Nas X, right?
God.
I know, but just hear me out. I know. I bring his name up because he just had what Billboard will say as the most successful song
I know.
in the history of the Billboard 100, which goes back, I believe, in the 50s, right?
Yep.
That song didn't start out because a record label heard it and said, "Ooh, let me put it in California. Ooh, let me put it on this site. Ooh, let me put it on this TV show." It started because Nas X put that song on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. People started listening to it. Then Red Dead Redemption came out. Then it started becoming attached to memes with Red Dead Redemption. Then all of a sudden it blows up on the internet. What does Lil Nas X do? He signs a record label with, I think, Columbia, if I'm not mistaken.
What's owned by Sony Music Entertainment.
Right. Now, he's 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. That song, when it popped, when he was
Hey, salute the 7. Sorry to cut you off. Salute 7. How you doing this evening, my brother?
Salute to you, man. Again, I'll put the StreamYard link in there. If you want to join in, you can. If you don't, you can just talk in the chat. It's all good. Just letting you know. But I'm just saying, right? As far as speaking from a independent standpoint, Lil Nas X had a hit on his hands, but that industry, that machine pushed it to another level. Is that where you would say it's okay for you to sign a record deal, or will you still push for independence?
I would go 50-50 because it depends what is being offered to me, though, because again, in music, it's about playing a pivotal situation to the advantage, not the disadvantage in the future, right? When it's coming down to going from an independent to a major, back in the day, bro, it was all about the hype and the streets playing it, right? What I would see is, instead of, like, for instance, a few years ago, I got really in depth with learning and understanding trap music, but also the understanding of how strip clubs and stuff like this would perceive certain genres of hip hop, bro, and how it would affect how people would like it and things, right? For instance, I don't see now, like it would be back in the day, the streets playing it and letting you know, bro, what is the next big thing. It is stuff like SoundCloud and things like that, bro. So to me, it's a 50-50. It just depends on what's being offered. But for platforms for the younger generation now to see, yes, it's good, because it's the new wave and the new era of how other people will hear your music, because there's a lot of artists that have come up through SoundCloud, from my understanding, bro.
Well, that's absolutely true. Half the mumble rap artists you hear came from SoundCloud. Yeah, SoundCloud rap, mumble rap, same shit. Yeah.
I just think I think it's gone from, like, the street element of telling you what's the good thing to go into the internet, bro. But in fairness, like I said, bro, I'm happy for the guy, yeah. But as we all know, the labels already have an agenda, and he slotted in perfectly, because I think the reason the song went as big as what it did is for political reasons, not for the fact of who was on the song or how it was a country trap beat, because I've made and heard country style trap beats before, bro.
And you know what, Sub? I think that would piss me off more if it came out that Lil Nas X did sign a 360 deal, because I would have used that leverage to say, you're not touching my merchandise, you're not touching my touring. The only thing you're touching is the distributing of the record. I'm keeping my masters, all that shit. That's the problem. That I feel like, see, and it's funny because where you get into independent shit, we also got to get into ownership, owning your shit.
Mm-hmm. And in music or anything that is a platform that you can show, it is pivotal to have the ownership of what you do. Right. Absolutely pivotal. And this is, again, for instance, why a lot of independent artists may or have been more successful to some artists on major labels.
And here's the thing, and I'll give a little hint right now, that might have been a big reason why Rockefeller split up. Because Jay-Z wanted his masters.
Yes, he did, because what Jay-Z was trying to do was pull off and do his own thing at the same time. Because, again, when you're in an industry, that creation is what it's driven by, bro. We will always have technical difficulties with it. We won't see eye to eye, but when you gel together and create, that's different. that is completely different. But when that relationship starts breaking down and then don't see eye to eye, it is technically on what you've previously signed.
And you
Because,
know,
like, for instance,
you go ahead,
sorry,
go ahead.
bro.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Just like I said on the very first hip hop one, I'll use Cormega again as an example. He had to buy his published songs back from Def Jam to recreate his album, The Testament, and it took him 8 years.
You know how frustrated that gotta be,
bro. How do you feel? How do you think De La Soul feels at the moment?
You know how
They don't
frustrated
own
that
that
be.
publishing. And Tommy Boy Records won't give them it, and they've got an extensive catalogue from the 80s and 90s that need to be put back out.
You sat there, you wrote those records, you sung those records, you had the voice aches, you went around the country, you went around the world performing those songs.
For what, bro? As I would say, for what? I don't own anything. What am I doing it for? That is why I believe in the independent route.
That's
because you're 100% right. Ownership is essential.
That's why I absolutely respect. You probably heard of him because listen, as an East Coaster, because of the internet, I know who this guy is. Do you know who Russ is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I know he's a lot bigger internationally than he really low-key is in the States, especially on the East Coast. We barely know him. But I bring him as an example of somebody who has really taken his career, his music, his artistry, his touring, his masters. He has taken control of every part of his career, and he is flourishing. Is he on top of the magazines? No. Is he on top of the Billboard charts? No. But
No.
You know what he's doing? He's selling out arenas around the world. He's selling out Africa. He's selling out in India. He's selling out places that Dubai. He's selling out places around the world without any big substantial radio play. That's an example of somebody of who I would like to aspire to, not musically, but as far as ownership, owning your content. T, I saw you in the background. You doing all right? You been on mute the whole time. I know I didn't mute you. Yeah, I didn't mute you. I don't know what's going on, T. I'd love to hear from you.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Is StreamYard's really fucking up? Do I need to do something with
Okay,
StreamYard?
let me tell you the trick. So if anybody's on a mobile device, they need to switch to go to the browser. They need to switch to desktop mode, and that's how they do it.
I'm on a mobile device, and I don't even need to do that, Tandra. As soon as I click on the link, it loads straight up.
Yeah, but you're in a different country. It says go to channel.
I hope you heard that game because I really want you on this panel, broski. So I don't know. I thought it was me. I thought it was something I had to do with StreamYard. I'm like, look,
I've been working with it since we had that problem, and
okay.
I got all the way through one time. Multiple times I should say, but it kept on bringing up error 404, so it can connect to the person's live stream.
Okay. As long as it's not me. All right.
Today is actually, letting you go through.
Seven of Scientists. You just opened up a new conversation, my brother. You said, what about Jay Electronica? Jay Electronica is one of the greatest artists that never been. Think about that for a second, Seven. He's one of the greatest artists that's never been. He made great music. Why haven't we heard from Jay Electronica in so long? Why haven't we heard a track or an album? And it's not like he's D'Angelo now. D'Angelo made 2 classics. His debut and his sophomore, he made classics. If he wanted to take 14 years off, he could take 14 years off. Jay Electronica, though, I didn't hear from him for years. We were starving for Jay Electronica's music. and he didn't deliver. So we moved on.
Jordan, you and D'Angelo.
Listen, hey,
You are a die-hard fan. I can tell.
Tandra, yeah, D'Angelo, that man, to me, we no longer have Prince. We no longer have Michael Jackson. To me, he's the closest thing to me to him to those two, as far as the male goes for me, because artistry goes to write, produce, arrange your own music. It just shows how much of an artist you truly are.
What about like Babyface and other people like that?
I like Babyface too because not only did he do things for himself, but he also did things for other people. He's really good. But like,
and he wrote all his stuff, and he wrote other music for other people.
Mary J. Blige.
To me, Babyface would be ahead of D'Angelo.
No, I gotta disagree, Tandra. You know, I love you.
I know, but you're from a different era than I am.
True.
But I'm just saying, you know, when it comes to writing music and everything like that, even Neo's a songwriter too. He does all that stuff too. Even to me, he's better than D'Angelo.
No. Naughty. Oh no.
Hey, no, I'm not trying to downgrade your
Babyface. I could accept. You said Neo. Oh yep. Lord.
He wrote songs for Rihanna and a lot of people.
Oh Lord.
He was a songwriter before he became a singer. I'm just saying.
You know you're my family, T. You know you're the family.
Don't get me wrong. I like D'Angelo's music. Don't get me wrong. Some of his songs are good. But I just think there's better talent out
there. I hear you, T. Talk to me, son.
That's just like somebody coming at me with the Biggie's better than Tupac kind of deal.
Wait, say that again?
I feel the same way as you if someone came at me and said Biggie was better than Tupac.
Okay. I think I'm going to have to step in right here. I ain't having this conversation. I'm not having this battle tonight, though. God damn.
I'm like, people are telling me with that all the time, and I'm like, no. So I understand the way you feel, and I'm not trying to knock to
you know I love you. You know I love you, and you know you family. But I can make the argument B.I.G. was probably better than Tupac.
Whatever.
And I can make both points better by just saying this, yeah. I love Tupac just as much as I love Biggie, right? But there's certain moods I want to listen to Tupac for my thug life stuff, for instance. And for if I want to go hear storytelling, I could go between the two, but I'll pick Biggie over Pac. Because certain stories, I'm not discrediting tracks like Dear Mama, Brenda's Got a Baby or anything, yeah? For me, there's two differences between the two guys, and I love both of them because they were very pivotal between me loving East and West Coast as well, Jordan and T. But when I've looked back over, it's certain moods for me. So I cannot say one is better than the other, but I can oversee the debate between the two because of the music.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Because I'll tell you something, right? I'll tell you something. I could pick Cradle to the Grave by Thug Life, yeah? And then I could go listen to Biggie, Long Kiss Goodnight.
Uh-huh.
I could go listen to Sky's the Limit by Biggie and then go listen to Dear Mama.
Mm-hmm. And then I could damn near cry to keep your head up.
Exactly, though. And if I wanted to go, if I wanted to listen to like Keep Your Head Up, for instance, I could go listen to Biggie. Which one was it? I would say.
Well, that's where he got his stylist from Tupac.
I know the whole background between the two, and you know something. the running track, and I'm going to state this on a live, right, to distinguish the differences between the two for people, yeah? If you don't know, here's a better education. Tupac originally released Running on 1 Million Strong, the soundtrack, what I think was to do with the 1 Million Man March, if I remember rightly, right, in 1995, what featured Buju Banton, Dromacidal, and Biggie, and Stretch.
Yep. Dromacidal was his old group.
It was Gaddafi and I think it was EDI, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, but it was the one he created before Outlaws.
Yeah, that's right. And then what happened was Eminem reproduced it, but with the censored lyrics on it. Because the original track, Jordan, from 95 was called Running from the Police, but it was heavily censored. Because if you remember, I had a version of Tupac Running, and that's the original unedited version of it, bro.
I have that.
Easy Mo B, if you want to talk about artists as well, Easy Mo B as a producer is very underrated in my eyes from New York. He done some Bad Boy stuff, he did Biggie stuff, and he's done a lot. Regardless of the beefs, the producer, bloody hell. Even Tony Picasso, for instance, who did the stuff on the Tupac Me Against the World, unbelievable producer. Even Live Squad.
My thing is, it has nothing to do with the beef, whatever. I just personally think Tupac is a better rapper, even though lyrically, yes, Biggie can throw down. I will give him that. But
100%.
the more of the storytelling and all that stuff, I would turn to Tupac over Biggie. But I won't discredit Biggie.
Like, listen, that's one of the most difficult conversations to have in hip hop. Is between Tupac Shakur and Christopher Big Notorious B.I.G. Wallace. So it's all right. I feel you.
Because people getting their feelings over that one because of the beef.
They do. They damn sure do.
That beef was squashed. He was supposed to be in Las Vegas with Tupac.
Like they damn sure do get in their feelings about that. But I'm just letting you know, I'm definitely not one.
I give both.
I listen to some Tupac songs. I'm just like, wow, like this man was ahead of his time, and I feel like in times because you're an expert in him or you left it so much. Is it true that he became a rapper by way of not accident, but in that he wanted to make movies?
Yeah,
no,
that was his second thing. No. His first love was acting.
Correct.
That's what I wanted to hear from sorry, Sub, but that's what I wanted to hear from Queen T. Continue, please.
So, sorry to cut you off, T. Can I just say I'm a big Tupac fan and I know quite a lot as well, though, bro. So if there's anything I can interject with, bro, if that needs breaking down, just ask as well, bro.
Yeah,
same with you, T.
But please continue, T.
Okay, so Tupac, the reason for him going into Digital Underground is I can't remember her name, but he was
Layla Steinberg.
Yeah, there we go. He was staying with her because he was no longer staying with his mom because of her addiction and stuff like that. And she knew Shock G. She introduced Shock G to Tupac, and he was like, "Yeah, you can come, be a roadie, whatever." And so that's what he was doing. And they realized that he had talent. He could rap. And so that's when they started putting him, in songs and stuff. And therefore he wanted to be in movies. That the rap thing, yeah, he wanted to be in music, but not performing music. Why he wanted his own his own company.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Because can I tell you as well, Creed, the whole thing from the acting as well, right? Because when he lived in Baltimore after he moved from New York, he went to acting school there for a few years until the Feeney had them and all of that, though. Because for instance, when Layla Steinberg had introduced Pac to Shock G and everything, what Pac did as well, if you remember Ray Love, he created a little group with him in the late 80s and the early 90s. And if you've heard tracks like Static and things, though, and also the album Are You Still Down, Remember Me, that is the era, Jordan, from when Tupac was in the Bay Area. Because when he was out in Marin City, he learned a lot and did quite a few tracks with Bay Area artists before he moved down to LA.
That's why he liked the Bay Area. That's why he wanted to go back. Had nothing to do with the beat. Nothing to do with
definitely. Y'all keep going. I'm listening. I'm trying to see if I can get out some hip hop in there. Keep going. I'm listening to this. This is history.
Did you also know that Tupac had already directed a couple of videos prior to after Tupac Lip Sync Now, because he did Last Night, what was Ray Love's first single, the video, and he also did Mackmore, Ghetto Theme, directed the video and made a guest appearance in that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because acting was his first love. That's just what he wanted to do.
I think also what it was, if I remember rightly, I'm just thinking the way Pac had met Layla Steinberg was Layla Steinberg used to do like a poetry night or something, and he just decided to go for it one day.
Yep. And then she found out he was, jumping from place to place, basically homeless, and she let him stay there. And then she was like, "I'll help you. You got talent," and it went from there.
Exactly. The rest is history, though. But I am a bit pissed off, Tandra, just to say, and I'll bring this up though, with the fire at the Interscope warehouse, because I think it was purposefully done to destroy music with powerful messages in. Because now, what a lot of people won't realize, if you go back to the original recordings, and just to say this, did you know Tupac had a record label as well, Tandra?
Yeah.
Out the Gutter Records, where it was originally pressed with Interscope, with that on before it got taken off, because there was two versions of the Thug Life Volume 1 pressing.
Yeah, I know that. I know that they redid some songs to put on Volume 1 that weren't the originals that were supposed to be on.
I'll explain that to you. I know the whole story behind Thug Life album, because that is one of my favorite Tupac material albums. What had happened was, listen to this, Jordan, yeah? They went to the record label with the original Thug Life Volume 1, and they said, look, it's too graphic for us to put out for this moment of time. Could you redo the album? So what they did is they redone the entire album, I think, in less than 2 weeks.
Wow,
and there was only one or two tracks from the original. Yeah, bro, because the demo tape is actually online, bro. I'll find them and send them to you.
Well, it came out with Strictly Dope at the same time.
Sorry?
And I think Strictly Dope came out at around the same time as Thug Life Volume 1. And I think the songs that didn't make it on Thug Life Volume 1, I think it ended up on the Strictly Dope with that interview.
Right, because with my understanding from the whole Thug Life demo version, I think it was only 2 tracks that made it from there onto the album. Because the album was originally meant to be slated to be 15, 16 tracks, Jordan. Not 10.
Just like his last album, they cut some of the songs out of it.
Which one?
The 7 Day Theory.
Yeah, though, but it's different though, because like I was explaining earlier, it's the record labels as well, though. Do you know what I mean? I've heard literally every OG song by Tupac, and the one I wish would have came out was the original Hit 'Em Up with the Jay-Z diss on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that version had that raw, talented emotion for what real artistry is about, Jordan. Because honestly, if you go back, well, I've got a playlist of 124 unreleased OG tracks on one of my playlists, bro, right? I'll send it over to you, bro. Just listen to when it's being recorded in the studio to the way you hear it. When it's being released and published through a label.
Yeah, because he has tons of unreleased stuff that were bootlegged.
I remember, Queen, the reason I know those tracks exist, is because when I was growing up, what I couldn't really find was the Machiavelli bootleg tapes that came out. There was 40, I think it was 19 volumes, but it was all unreleased DAT tapes of Tupac material.
I know that, and that's because I can't remember who it was. Somebody got them. One of the producers or engineers got them.
Well, the thing is, though, supposedly Daz has still got stuff in the vault, right? But when it came down, sorry,
Daz is full of shit too, though.
I'm still 50-50 with him, though, until I see it, though. But it is what it is until I see it, though. Yeah. But I'll be honest, though, that you know what the one thing is that I despised about what they did with Tupac's music was the fact they took his main producer of everything that he did. What was Johnny J? Rest his soul. If it wasn't for Johnny J, in my eyes, I don't think we would have heard the Tupac we had. Because the amount of... Sorry, Jordan.
No, I'm sorry. That's what I was going to say, T. And this is why I can honestly say a lot of people really shouldn't get in their feelings with you. You're really kind of making your point for Tupac because, I mean, this man had tracks over tracks over tracks over tracks.
He made over 3,000 songs that did not come out.
True that.
That's artistry at the end of the day.
I mean, they had boxes and boxes of his lyrics that they just threw away.
Remember,
he just hurry, wrap it out, and then throw it away. He was done.
Remember, I keep using the term artistry. That is artistry right there. Now, B.I.G., he had some recordings as well, but it wasn't like this man.
No, he was in there not inconsistent. I mean, he was there consistently unless he was doing a film.
Man, oh
That's
man.
just, I mean, he was a workaholic, you know, and he was about, you know, trying to help other people and stuff. That's why he formed Thug Life. That's why he formed Dromicidal in the beginning. Strictly Dope, and then, you know, Outlaws at the end.
No, there was another name for them, Tanja, as well, because I think one of the Outlaws was with them before they got changed to Outlaws. But I'll tell you something, though, Tanja. Did you ever hear the Gaddafi mixtape that come out?
No.
Oh, my God, guys.
I heard that there was one out there, but I never heard it. Never got it.
Oh, my God. I've just heard it again recently. I need to send it to you. It is really good. Because if you like...
hello, he's related to freaking Tupac. Of course he's got talent. I'm just saying.
The one thing I always liked about Tupac was it doesn't matter what song you're listening to, whether he was drunk or died for educational purposes only, however he brought the track, there was always a meaning and message behind it once you deciphered it. Because yes, this is what I loved about him, and again, I'm talking from an artistry point of view. How the hell can you record and have that many unreleased tracks in such a short period? Because I'm going to tell you why. His musical career only lasted maybe 6 years in life.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It started in 91. So 5 years.
I'm talking. I've heard tracks on 88, 89 by Tupac.
You got to take that time that he was in prison too.
So maybe 4 years, 3.5 to 4 years, and he's left an everlasting imprint on music.
That tells me that he lived, ate, slept, fucked, anything in the studio. That's what that tells me. He lived in the studio. That's what that tells me.
He used to have that special room where they could go smash at freaking Death Row.
I mean, that just tells me he was in that building, woke up and said, you know what? I got some shit on my mind. Let me get in that booth real quick and spit it. That's artistry.
I mean, DJ Quick even says that he still can hear Tupac in the studio.
That's artistry at the end of the day.
I'll tell you something, since you brought up DJ Quick, I think DJ Quick needs his flowers off me, though. And I mean that is artistry. His music is really good. I like a lot of his music, right? But what people don't realize was, do you want to know who mixed and mastered? Well, who mixed that album? All Eyes on Me. Right, Cooper? DJ Quick. DJ Quick used to mix a lot of the albums for Death Row.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to know an interesting fact?
Jazzy Boy did Death Row.
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Bro, because again, though, I think what happened with Death Row was like within the production, it may have been like a Dr. Dre feel, bro. But there was something about DJ Quick because I think he came up under Dre and things in studios as well as making his own music. Like working with other artists, perfecting sounds and doing things because, again, DJ Quick, for the quality wise of All Eyes on Me when it came out in 1996, bro, it was so futuristic, clean, healthy, and you were able to understand everything, but it was so beautifully put together, bro, right? Because you got to think of there's so many different elements when you're making music, bro. And when you've got a talented room within all these elements, bro, I've never heard a piece of music, good quality, than at that time compared to All Eyes on Me. And then when the Machiavelli album dropped, Machiavelli production, the whole story behind it, that solidified in me loving Tupac.
Like, yeah, Tommy D is an engineer. What's his name?
He had Hurt and Bad doing production and engineering. Badasses producers were there. There was a lot of quiet people. For instance, Simon, who executively produced Machiavelli, is Suge, bro.
Didn't even know that. Again, like you sitting here teaching. The game just said they teaching. I'm learning a little. Same here. Talk to me. Shit.
I mean, just like a lot of people don't know that Tupac, his real name is Lucian Paris Crooks.
Preach, sister.
A lot of people don't know that. And his mom.
And I learned that in 2003.
I learned that way before that.
Well, I didn't though, because even then it was hard to get stuff though. But what the person who I owe my journey for Tupac from Afterlife is Kathy Scott, because do you remember the book she released, Killing the Tupac? The one with the front cover of the last picture taken in Las Vegas when he was looking into the camera in the car. When I read that book, I was just like, what the hell? Because it wasn't, in my eyes, it was, to put it in one sentence, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm not going to put it in a sentence, I'll quickly explain. In my eyes, people didn't realize Tupac was marked for death because of who his family was. And it was a shame that we only had a small period of Tupac. Because in my eyes, for my generation, I would say, and probably for a few others as well, Tupac in my eyes was for instance, another leader, speaker, such as Malcolm X and all these people.
Revolutionary.
Thank you, I was looking for the word. And because of the powerful impact, and I said this to you before, Jordan, right? Tupac, still to this day, in my eyes, is one of the only few artists that I've seen from death that's touched all four sides of the world, bro. The whole world.
Even as an actor, I'm not gonna lie, man, he was good in his time. Like, people would look at it and make think it was campy, but he was a great actor as well. So I think, you know, with respect to Will Smith, I think Will Smith caught a break there a little bit, because Tupac could be a big actor for right now.
You want to know why Will Smith has
a few minutes, guys.
About Tupac? Is because Independence Day, Tupac was going up against him for that part.
Wait, say that one more time?
Will Smith, the reason why he had a chip on his shoulder before he got with Jada, him and Tupac were up for the same part for Independence Day.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah, and I think Will Smith kind of saw that, you know, Tupac was stepping on his toes or whatever. You know, he already blew up the rap scene and blew him out. So, you know, he's coming in the movie. He's going to blow him out some more, you know? But, yeah.
Man, like, I'm just trying to it's just amazing, right? It's just amazing. I just wish people, especially like the younger demographic is just able to look at this hip hop history because we're telling it more now than ever. You know,
I mean, it's more of a life thing, not this popping mollies and leaning like a cholo and all that other shit. You know, I get it that, yeah, we all have mental issues, okay? It's great that you put it in a song, but not every song. And the only way to cure it is by self-medicating with these drugs that are going to kill you. I just think it needs to pass a better message. I mean, in kind of a way, they're telling our kids that, go ahead and kill yourself.
Educational purposes only. This is
Yeah,
educational,
educational
of
purposes.
course, and whatnot. You already know how that go. But it's really sad, and I hope you've seen the one that I did about goodbye Juice World. That's why I said goodbye to him, because it's like, bro, 21.
I have some mixed feelings on that one.
You can talk about
I just don't believe that he knows what those drugs will do to you if you pop that many freaking pills. I don't think he really was thinking. Let's just put it that way. I think it was a hurry up kind of deal, and I don't know why he would be more afraid of prison than death.
And I completely agree with you, T, because I'll say this, you would think and you would figure that if you was a person of a certain wealth, of a certain, aura, you figure you would have that one person that you could just look to and be like, hey, just take this. They're going to find it on you. Take this.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure you good. I'm going to make sure your mama good. Just take
like,
this off.
Security guards. I mean, well, why didn't they secure that?
Like, somebody should have taken responsibility. He shouldn't have had to have taken all that if that is the case. Somebody should have been the fall guy. Somebody should have been the guy to be like, hey, hand me that. You're the bag.
Yep.
Like that's what I be thinking. You're the bag.
If you're his people, you know that he's going to take care of you.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just
exactly.
I don't know if it was that they rushed him so quick. What was going on? Because I kind of seen the video, and
it's one of those things where it's not even even thought of. It shouldn't even be thought about. It should just be oh shit, we got some shit on this plane. Right.
Well, if you think he's gonna hide 70 pounds of marijuana, I mean, hello. Like
or give that to somebody. Let somebody else take that. Something.
I just think he knew something else, like really kind of he was going to be one of those sacrifices kind of deal, and so maybe he sacrificed himself. But I just don't see him knowing what that drug does, doing that to himself purposely. I just don't see it. I do not see it. I'm not seeing somebody else giving it to him, but at the same time, I just don't see in his right mind, not fight, flight, or freeze kind of deal. He wouldn't have done it. But because maybe something was said, something, whatever, that's what he took it for.
This is unfortunate.
Because I guess, he was on the FBI's watch list for a minute, I heard.
Now that's new information from. Well, I might have seen that in an article. This is all allegations. All allegations.
Yeah,
we don't know for sure, but I may have seen that in an article that there was some scalping out that they were doing.
And that's even why they took over investigating it. The FBI did, to make sure that they cross their T's and dot their I's. Make sure that they didn't fuck up somewhere. Well, they did fuck up. They put pressure on somebody and he fucking died because of it. Look at that.
Pretty much. And I don't mean to laugh. It's just...
it's like another Tupac thing. I'm just saying. It's just like another Tupac thing. FBI, man, yeah. They are freaking intimidating and scary, and I get it. So, he could have freaked out and just popped him off. I just don't know. You can't see in his right mind because he seemed normal on the plane, fine, having a good time, whatever. Yeah, he may have been, lit off some lean or, a couple of pills, but that's about it. I didn't see him overdoing it, if you know what I mean. And
I agree.
never have I seen him overdo it in any of his videos, nothing. Like, he's not some of these people, like, what is it, Famous Dex, or even Little Wayne, where they're like almost comatose and they're talking. He was very alert, very aware, and I know that in his right mind, if he wasn't freaked out over something, he wouldn't have done that.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree, and it obviously had to come from a scary place, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, you get that fight, flight, or freeze, and you're like, oh shit. What do I do? Either you freeze up, you fight back, or you run. Well, there was no running in an airport, so and freezing. I mean, yeah, you know you're going down, but at the same time, man, I don't want to deal with that shit. I'm famous. I should be in jail. I'll be fucking be a target in there. Fuck that,
Right.
kind of deal. And
Okay. So the game, it shows that you're in here. It just says that you'll need to connect your mic or your cam. You don't need to cam up, but just connect your mic, and I can add you to the stream. So you're in here. I don't know what you did, but you're here. But you just gotta add a mic. You don't gotta cam up though. We ain't doing a cam up show today. We just talking our shit. But yeah, man, that's another sad thing. Rest in peace to Juice WRLD. I don't want to. 2019 has. You know what's
we
funny?
lost two people in 2019.
And what's funny is rest in peace to King Nipsey Hussle. You almost wouldn't think that happened in 2019, would you? You would almost think that happened like a year or two ago. That happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, March?
Well, and you know what's sad is, to me, like with Tupac, it's like it happened yesterday. Because I remember that much of it.
Right.
When you really are drawn to somebody, it's it doesn't feel like it was so many years ago. It feels like it was the day before.
Sadly, I'm with you, T.
But all this promoting, mental health awareness and self-medicating, I think needs to stop. Yes, promote mental health awareness. I'll 110%, support that. But the self-medicating needs to stop. We can't say, oh, I'm depressed, so I'm going to lean. Or you can lean too if you're depressed. Or you can take this drug if you're depressed. Or have anxiety, you can do this, you can do that. That's killing our youth.
That's another reason why I pray, Tandra, that mental health doesn't become the topic of mental health doesn't become political. It doesn't become one of those.
It already has.
Because when it comes to fucking, it's real. Like there is no talking point. There is no kind of people just saying that just like it's a real thing, Tandra.
Oh yeah, they say that like 90% of the youth have mental illness because the internet, lack of social interaction with people, in reality. They get more bullied on the internet than anywhere, and then they get exposed to people that act like they're all glitter and gold on the outside, and on the inside they're cold. And they lose their lives because they want to believe everything that's put out on the internet, and that's not the case.
It's true. That's true. Hey, Gabe, it's still saying you need no, that's a sub. Hey, Game is still saying, man, device is not connected. Still saying you need your mic.
So either Bluetooth or is that audio setting?
It'll be the
I,
audio setting.
that's all
In the
you need,
Well,
my
stream.
because I
brother.
had to go back in and out because my Bluetooth wasn't working. So I had to go. That's why I was having technical difficulties. It wasn't acknowledging that my Bluetooth was on.
Hey, if you got to do that too, game, do it, man. Like I said, we talking hip hop history. I'm having a lot of fun with y'all right now, like talking about this. I really, really freaking am because this is like this is history that I need to know, man. And ever since, like I've really been on this hip hop journey for a long time. But like the Get Down on Netflix, that show for me really made me go, okay, I'm ready to be a hip hop historian now. I don't want to
And
be a hip. I don't want to be a hip hop head no more. I want to be a historian. Like,
you know why people are getting screwed on their royalties and everything else is because they're not reading the final print on their contract. That's how they're getting screwed.
and that's
It's
why.
all the fighter words and the fine print and the little sub
Yep.
fine print that they all need to read on. It was just like going back to what we were saying earlier. That's where all the 360s and things come from, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's where the other mouths are fed from. But if you're doing it independently, bro, this is the difference. When you're doing it independent, it's on you. Just like the game had said earlier, the whole Master P deal was an 80-20 deal, bro. 80-20 deal, bro. That's why he pumped so much music out, because he had the money to do it from the deal. He had the money to do what he did for No Limit back then, because Master P doesn't own the rights now to a lot of the catalogue from, does not own the rights from the catalogue from 95 to 99, and that was the Beats by the Pound era, bro. Beats by the Pound now own that.
So that's basically.
Pretty much.
Because a lot of it, bro, as well, though, it's from production as well, bro. A lot of producers are slept on and get cut out of deals that they don't need to be, bro. Do you know what I mean? If it was like Beats by the Pound 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 is what we'll probably be doing with the amount of projects that were coming out. If I can't eat off that and I'm a part of it, I'm going to get what I need to get in later life, bro. But it's so expensive to go through the system to get it back.
So let me ask you a question as an artist, right? Do you think it would be better if they can't do it? They can't do it. It is what it is, right? But do you think it would be more sufficient for some of these artists to know and to learn how to write their own music, produce their own music, and arrange their own music, so they can own all that, you know, publishing and royalties and stuff like that? You think it'd be better for them?
Because at the end of the day, it's just like you stated earlier, ownership. If you want to go down the route of like I did, like Russ did and others, do it, because you will reap your benefit. It may take time, it may take that extra 10, 20, 40, 50, 100, 200% extra dedication, but you know what it is? The big man's always got a plan for people like that. You've just got to be patient and slide in when you know it's appropriate to.
Yeah, that's what Russ said. Russ said he writes, he produces every single lyric and track and a note of all his songs. And look what's happened to him. Now, you know that's hard work. You know that's you know, breath stinking, musty in the studio, but it's getting it done, and he's really reaped the rewards of being independent. It's a cool thing.
Do you know who capitalized off it a great deal? What not many people realize as well, bro, from the independent side? Tech-9.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest fan of Tech-9. I really
am sure it is what it is.
So pretty much he produced his own music. Everything he did was him. And
except for the beats though, but he done everything. But when it came to him, he done everything himself. What I mean by that is like what an independent artist would do. Get the albums done or freestyles, whatever we did. whatever we did, don't, bro, and then push himself out and promote himself. Because again, you could have a team, bro, right? We could all be your team right now, chilling, making music, yeah? I could take the full front of it and say, right, I'm going out and seeing what the hell we can do with this.
True.
Right? Again, would you want somebody else doing it, not knowing what your music's about, or would you want someone in the crew? Because when you're trying to give out a product, right, it doesn't matter if it's music or whatever. If you have made and created it, regardless of what's been added to it, you know what that purpose is for the project. So
right.
how, and this is logical, bro, how can I, for instance, Jordan, have you come involved with my project on the outside looking in, not knowing how I planted the seed for the project to evolve from? You don't know the backdrop, nothing.
That's true. That's true. Hey, man, check this out. This is what I'm about to do right now. We've been talking, what, an hour and 26 minutes? Sub, how your energy feeling?
I'm good, mate, bro. I'll be up for a bit.
Bro, I'm good, too. I just ordered me a freaking pizza because I am freaking starving. So I'm going to be eating with y'all. We are not going anywhere, but I do want to take a quick little musical break. I want to take, and what I want to do, I want to play a track from this guy. You've probably heard of him. It's called Seven of Scientists. I'm lifted. I hope you remain lifted, my brother. I hope you remain lifted. This is the lifted platform. We lift up. We evolve. You understand what I mean? Salute to Seven of the Scientists, man. I really appreciate him being in here, man.
I appreciate your beat. Yeah, Seven.
Yeah, man. Hey, Gabe, once again, bro, I hope you could try again, man. Again, it was saying that I couldn't, you didn't have your headphones in, so hopefully you could do that, or with the Bluetooth, like Tom just said, and you can get on the panel, and we can keep talking about this hip-hop history, because I got to get into the 2000s and the 2010s. Yes, we've been talking a lot about the 90s. We're talking a lot about the 80s. But now we got to get into that 2000 era, that 2010 era. That's about to end now. And we're going to see where the future lays, man. So check this out. This track is by Charles Hamilton. He is another. Have you ever heard of Charles Hamilton?
Is that the R&B singer?
No, no, it's not. He's a rapper. No, he's a rapper. But I'm going to play a track of his. Okay, that's all good, man. It's only going to be about 4 minutes, man. We're just going to, you know what I'm saying, rest our voices, you know what I'm saying, get some drinks going. Shoot, I'm kind of thirsty myself. Damn, an hour and 30 minutes we've been talking. Let me take one commercial break, do you mind? I'll be right back, y'all. It's Charles Hamilton, November 10th. November 10th.
Controller.
Check it out.
Guess who's back with another dope track? It's crazy, I mean, need another Prozac pill. I'm ill, but you brothers know that. And if you disagree, you don't fucking know rap. I was nice before, but now I'm done better. I need a girl going wild with an umbrella. I'm sorry, I'm Ariana, but I'm all Ariana. You hardly on. It's the genesis of rap, you Atari gone. How the hell can a geek make a party song? I just did it, just spit it during Mardi Gras. I broke the start button, we can hardly pause. Play Sonic while I'm blowing that chronic. Pick my favorite rock and roll topic. You hear the rings, I got to go shop and stop the flow. Not you, Dr. Robotnik. All you do is run, you ain't nothing but tails. You don't use knuckles, you fucking nuttails. Whoops, that's Disney. Kids should dig me, but they daddy is a prick and he quick to diss me. Switch, do you mind if I rip with this beat? The other gon' probably rip through history. Life is a bitch, big hips and titties. I am a pimp, she gon' get me rich, B. Sit too sick to get ripped for shit, cause this is a hit, the kid flipped it gently. Y'all think it's funny, but it ain't. I got no money in the bank like the bitch with Swiss Beats. Doesn't really matter cause I own this shit. It's me by myself all alone and shit. You don't like it, hit me on the phone and shit, but I ain't got a phone, so blow my dick. Don't take a day for granted. Every single day you've been handed. Can't get crazy, but you need to manage. And it's how God sees you, the last man stand. Live every day like it's your birthday. Live every day like it's your birthday. Live every day like it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. 1987, now I'm Cleveland, and my birthday was November 10th. My mama was an angel and my daddy was too drunk to really give a shit. But it doesn't doesn't matter, it's my life and it's my world. You other motherfuckers living it. So everyone get a glimpse. How rockstar rebel gets now. Gotta live from negative to positive. After the bridge comes rapping, the kid come rapping. That's what it is. Take a star girl back to the crib, play tracks for a bit, then we at it again. Back shot, front shot, yeah, I got a dumb hot. You so nasty, we only taking jump shots. And she lost cause my G is mean, my J is mean, but you know what I mean. She got a good grip on the ball, but one good block and she hitting the wall. She keep on traveling, it's pissing me off. Damn, they don't make it like this anymore. This is all just sport when I'm bored, by the way. I ain't talking about sports anymore, by the way. I ain't talking about sports anymore, by the way. Oh, man. Let me tell y'all niggas something. I'm about to be 20 fucking years old. 20! That means I made it through 20 years of this bullshit. And you know what's the same? My name. Charles Hamilton. Charles Eddie Lee Hamilton Jr. But since that bitch ass nigga that calls himself a Pops ain't a Pops, it's Charles Hamilton, the last living Hamilton. What up? Yeah. It's all a game, baby. It's all a game, baby. Yeah, it's all a game. Yeah, all a game, baby. Yeah, it's all a game. I wanna get my Genesis back. I wanna get my Genesis back. Where's my fucking
If you're
Genesis?
a big Sonic fan,
my fucking Genesis. I just got a fucking game
you
genie.
really like that
I
one.
can't find my damn Genesis.
Charles Hamilton,
Yeah.
November
It's
10th.
the 90s, baby. Yeah, because the 90s made me.
What up, everybody?
You got the boo, man. I'm fucking
Welcome
stupid.
back, Jordan.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you very much for letting me take my break. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. Any Sonic fans in the building? If y'all are, hope y'all enjoyed that one because he sampled the fuck out of that Sonic one. Oh, Queen T's in the background. My bad, T. Sorry, T. Now you're back, T. I ordered a pizza. I am so hungry. Y'all understand me?
I'm just chilling tonight. I bought a few sandwiches earlier on.
Oh, for real?
I'm drinking a lot of juice at the minute, bro. I'm detoxing.
Detoxing. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
I
with
need to
that,
get myself
man.
back in the rhythm. Need to get myself back in the rhythm of it, bro, and chill out for a bit.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Seven, man, I wish you was able to get up on here, man. Really wish you was able to get up on here.
Right, so Jordan,
Talk to me, brother.
let me ask you then, since you want to bring up the 2000s, yeah, because I'd like to know this with me being a 90 head, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Other than like 50 in G Unit and stuff like that, bro, what else, like what other artists did you like? What like attracted you to hip hop in the 2000s, bro?
Oh, boy. Well, shit, that's a great question. The Diplomats. The Diplomats did a good job. Joel's, Cameron. It actually kind of hurts me seeing Joel's the way that he is right now. You know what I mean? Because he was so prevalent. You know what I mean? 2000 hip hop groups as well, man. You gotta understand something, and this is probably gonna make you laugh, and a lot of other people laugh, right? I pretty much went to school in North Carolina, but I was always in New York any chance I got, right? With that being said, I was in New York every month. With that being said, I got exposed to a lot of music down here that I wouldn't necessarily have been exposed to up there. So there's a whole... So as far as hip-hop groups in the 2000s, of course, Outkast, you know, they got their respects. Goody Mob down here, they got their respects. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It really wasn't until P. Diddy signed 8 Ball and MJG.
Wow.
I wouldn't have known about them, to be honest with you.
I can see that because I love 8 Ball and MJG, bro, but I can see that. I can understand that, bro, because to me, when 8 Ball and MJG, because they've got an extensive catalogue from the 90s, bro, up to the time they'd signed anyway.
See, didn't know that. It wasn't until Diddy signed, and then I was like, oh, 8 Ball, MJG. Oh, they got a new. Oh, okay, that's who they are. So that's how that went. Really, man, I would have to say for me the most influential group of the 2000s to 2000 from 2000 to 2009. It probably have to be G Unit, man. Honestly, probably have to be 50 Cent and G Unit.
I'll let you off, bro. No, I'm joking. No, bro, I can see that, bro. I can see that, bro, because to be honest, around that time he was very relevant, especially I would say, especially after Get Rich and Die Trying came out, bro, because I was around when that dropped, bro, and I swear to God, that was a tremendous album that he dropped. An absolute tremendous album. It still goes down in my eyes as one of the greatest albums that he ever did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll tell you as a 50 Cent fan, it is the best. Well, I was gonna say it was his best, but if you ever heard of The Power of the Dollar, that's even better.
Come on, bro. I had it on CD because what I was just about to say is, bro.
That's a better album. That's his best album.
I like to be honest with you, bro. If you want to go that far back, I prefer Ghetto Quran, bro. The album.
That, in my opinion, that's his greatest song. In my opinion.
Well, it's the album that came off, bro. What wasn't Power of the Dollar, because there was another album. Because what happened was, bro, here's an interesting fact for you, bro, if you don't remember, right? As 50 was coming up, bro, right, when he got shot, he was actually on Columbia at the time, and they'd done a small press run of 2 albums, Power of the Dollar and Ghetto Quran. There was whichever album that was on. Not many people had realised around that time as well, he had all the independent stuff coming out. Because if he wasn't shot, and I dispute it's 9 times from evidence that the game had shown on a DVD back in the day called Stop Snitching, Stop Lying, I think it was.
Yep.
Right? But when he got shot, he was under Columbia, and they shelved those 2 albums. And what happened was I found a 6 CD pack, bro, of 50 Cent when I was in London. I only paid £10 for it, about $12, $13, and it included the 2 Columbia released albums on it.
Wow.
And 4 CDs of unreleased freestyles and tracks as well.
That is rare. I say that because, man, 50, man, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think his hustle and his grind grew when he got shot. Oh, but the artist that he was before he got shot, oh my goodness, he was a monster.
The first time I ever heard 50 was How to Rob with the Mad Rapper, bro.
Yep.
And when I first heard that, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Because even at the time, right, if you want to take that as a diss track, right, even at the time, you're getting on wax talking about how to rob an industry, cat, right? You know you're going to get all the beef from everybody straight away. Even though it was a comedic and a very funny track, bro, lyrically, he played it smart because I think he maybe done that to come up with the underground battles and freestyling, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, of course that's the case. That has to be the case. Actually, it's actually funny. The first time I heard of 50 Cent was actually on a track with Onyx. Remember that track with Onyx?
No, I don't, bro. I didn't even know they did a track together, but I know who Onyx are.
Yeah, 50 Cent did a track with Onyx, and that was the first time I heard of him. And then from there, I heard about everything else. And I'll just say this about 50. I'll say that the Ghetto Quran is still his best song to date. It's the greatest song he's ever made, and it almost killed him. And almost got him killed, which is amazing. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
Exactly.
But I was gonna say when you said Get Rich or Die Trying, I was gonna say that was his greatest album of all time. But then I thought about Power of the Dollar, and I was like, I don't know. Power of the dollar was.
But see, bro, to us, bro, because we're connoisseurs of hip hop, right? Though, not many people will relate to that album. They don't know that album. So they're gonna see Get Rich or Die Trying. But again, I respect that though, because he went from that album on a small scale, even though yes, he was with Columbia, to going over to Shady Aftermath, run by two of the biggest people at the time, as in Dre and M, and created that, bro.
I agree.
Because no disrespect to whether people like Eminem or not, though, right? Eminem was popping between the first three albums with the freestyles, the diss tracks, and anything. And I don't care about what Lord Jamar says either, bro, right? Because I find it quite disrespectful. As somebody looking at artistry and knowing that artistry can be influenced by all cultures, that he said that Eminem was a guest in hip hop because he's white. I'm not being funny. There's been a lot of white rappers who have influenced generations in different countries.
Yeah, he was bullied like all the time.
The UK, Europe, Australia, everywhere else.
Tandra, I'm sorry, so to cut you off. Tandra, if you're trying to talk, you sound really low. If you're trying to say something, yeah, you sound really low. I don't want you to think that we're ignoring you, but you sound really low. Just to let you know.
How that happened.
I don't know either. I didn't want you to think we were just talking over you. But I'm sorry, so what were you saying?
So for educational purposes,
that's way better.
That's way better.
Much better. But go ahead, Sub.
For educational purposes, that's just my opinion, though, because when I look back over that, yes, I know who Vanilla Ice is. Yes, I know there's people like Isham and everybody else and other races that have created different aspects and genres. And pardon?
I like Snow and Beastie Boys.
Exactly. Because to me, for Lord Jamar to say that, I've got to say to Lord Jamar, what about the Beastie Boys? The Beastie Boys have influenced and still will influence people with white races, probably like to the styles in ways that they brought hip hop for. Because I certainly did, because I was amazed, even though I understood hip hop was more predominantly black, to hear Beastie Boys when I was growing up. Here's Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill ain't white, though.
It's not the point. I'm talking about race, because I understand hip-hop is more predominantly known as a black cultured music. I'm not about all the other cultures that have brought something to hip-hop, because that's how I took the offense of what Lord Jamar was saying about Eminem.
Eminem grew up in the hood. I mean, come on now.
That is true. 8 Mile. That's true. Eminem wasn't just this suburban kid. He grew up in the trailer parks of Michigan.
Yep. So. And that's who accepted him was black people, not white people, black people.
And you know what, and that's what I like about Eminem, because he acknowledged, yeah, I'm white. Yeah, I might be in this position, maybe because I am white, because let's be honest, there's a bunch of black folks rapping, talking their shit and whatnot, and here comes this white boy who just destroys every fucking body on the stage. Yeah, we're gonna pay attention to him.
Well, I'm not being funny.
That's just the fact.
White person, Jesus.
That's just the fact. Like, we're gonna pay attention to you. I'm sorry. Like,
I think what a lot of people have got to understand is as well is the growth and development of what was created from hip hop. And to me, for like my generation, Eminem was a defining moment.
Yeah.
Because like I always see, like I said with the Michael Jackson song, seeing the different cultures come together and paying respect. Yes, I respect people's opinions, but when you don't see it from the flip coin and see what it's done to other cultures that have been influenced from Eminem, because I've been to an Eminem concert and I saw all races there, bro. But I've been to a Public Enemy and it was more like white and some blacks, not many other races.
Well, they said the majority of their sales go to white people.
Mm. Mm.
But, I know that they feel some type of way, and I get that. But in our reality, we are all literally one another. We're all related.
Exactly.
And that's why we're the same inside and out. That's why we breathe air. That's why our blood's red. That's why we have organs. Is we're all the same. It shouldn't matter what somebody's skin tone looks like.
And I think music is the language of all people.
But I
Because
get how black people feel because yes, that was their way of coping with stuff down in the hood. Living in the projects, living in poverty, such as I did, and that was their release. That's how they got their anger out. Rather than going and grabbing a gun and shooting somebody, they picked up a microphone or picked up a boombox.
so
Sorry
then let
to
me
cut
ask
you
you a
off,
question.
Queen.
Oh,
Sorry to cut you
go
off,
ahead,
guys.
Seb. No, go ahead, Seb. Go ahead, Seb. Go ahead.
Salute behind the bar. I see you, brother. How you doing? I
Oh,
hope you have a
behind the
lovely
bars in the
holiday.
building. What up
I
behind the
hope you have a
bar?
lovely shopping trip, my brother. I hope you have a peaceful and blessed holidays, my friend. And I'll see you on the flip side of New Year, my brother.
We just having a hip hop conversation, my brother. Thank you very much for tuning in, man. Hope you, your queen, and your kids get something nice for Christmas, man. Salute to you. Thank you for tuning in, even if it's just for a second. Thank you. But what was you saying, Sub?
Sorry, I think Dad was speaking Queen.
No, you were gonna say something on what I said.
Oh, okay. Well, I think
Sorry,
I
I've forgotten.
I remember what I
About
was going to
grabbing a
say.
boombox and a microphone rather than grabbing a gun and killing somebody.
I remember what I was going to say, right? Okay, so Tyler, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Of course, you remember there was a time where when people heard the word rap, hip hop, or whatever, it was always went back to gangster. There was a gangster rap era.
My father
in music,
was like
right?
that.
Now let me ask you a question, Tanja. With you saying all that, with those people being from the hood, speaking from where they're coming from, were you happy that kind of rap era went away?
Yes and no, because today's music compared to music back then, there's more dust now than there was then.
Got you.
Because they brought their beef on wax, they didn't bring it to the street.
Behind the Bars going live tonight, and guess what? As soon as I'm done with this, I'll be watching you live tonight. There you go. Salute the Behind the Bar, and I'm gonna play MEYE Criminal, by the way, too. I got you, Behind the Bar. Salute to you. I'm so sorry, Tandra. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, if you compared to now to back then, like, that's how they got their aggression out, everything, and they put it on wax rather than, going and committing a charge that, they're going to regret for the rest of their life.
Agreed.
And see, with you saying that as well, though, what I'd like to say is the whole Drake Pusha T beef, right, is a prime example of beef staying on wax. Because I remember also listening to freestyles and understanding beefing and battle rapping is it's always kept on a respectful level, though, where it was kept to wax or to whatever you were doing, and the boundaries weren't pushed. I always wanted to know and understand when did that line and boundary go blue. Because I can give you two prime examples of this is from this year, right? The Pusha T and the Drake one versus the King Von Mimo 600 exposing me against FBG Duck and Ruger. Two very different styles of battle rapping, but one is beef on wax, and the other one is streets on wax, as I call it, where the streets are involved with it.
Yep.
That's true. Because I can go a little bit further as far as Drake and Pusha T. I think this is gonna go. This might be a little controversial. I think what Pusha T did to Drake was the greatest thing that ever happened to Drake in his career. I'll tell you why. For 10 years since 2009 or 2007 when Home Improvement, Drake has been pretty much running the hip hop charts. Not as far as, popular musically, but as far as running the charts of hip hop, it's been Drake for 10 fucking years. Pusha T was the only person to really come at Drake, not with just the facts and the receipts, but
that's what set the difference between them tracks, bro.
But came to Drake with the news that he had a child to let Drake know, you might be on top of the rap game, you're not on top of the world, player.
To me, though, bro, that's what a good beef is about, exposing things, especially within hip hop. Because when you go back and look at it, that's what the battling was about, bro.
Now, let me ask you a question on that note, then, Sub. Did Pusha T go too far by bringing up
not
Drake's
in my eyes.
child that Drake didn't announce yet?
Nope, because you know what it is, bro. Go back and look at the 90s and the 80s and look at how the development of battle rapping in diss records have come about. No, to me, no, it's not. Because, like I said, though, a diss track is about exposing. It doesn't matter how ruthless or cutthroat or whatever it is that you're doing, you're exposing it. And that, to me, is what a diss track is about. But at the same time, doing what's necessary to cut the snake in half and leave it in so many small pieces that it cannot be reconformed back into a snake, bro. It doesn't matter, bro, to me, when it comes down to this. Even I've seen disses within dancing, with break dancing, bro. Because I now look at break dancing from starting to learn a bit more about it, bro, the elements of it, as a way to sort out beefs. Mm-hmm. Instead of having to go to fighting in gunplay, whatever, educational purposes only, you could go down and break it down on a dance floor. And that's what I miss about hip hop, bro, where stuff was a bit more simpler. But to me, it would be much better with the developments of today, because I think the line of how things of disrespect and respectful within hip hop, there's no boundary. Everybody just goes for the gusto, talks about this or that without knowing the ins and outs of what they're talking about.
Yeah. And I feel like the one exception to that is battle rap, which, into my eyes, battle rap is the WWE of rapping, where you can say all this disrespectful shit in front of each other's faces, but you're not going to do anything, because at the end of the day, it's about your lyricism, it's about your angles, it's about your rapping, it's about your skills. But as far as, yes, a real life two artists getting on wax, getting on, vinyl or whatever, and spitting their heat, you're right about that, bro. I would like to say it, but hey, you can be honest with it, Sub. You could say that a Renaissance era can really come back, because let's be honest, there used to be a point where if a diss track came out or a diss track was made, guess what? It took a couple, days, weeks for people to really understand and, digest that diss track. Now you can make a diss track today. People will be expecting another diss track from the other person the next day. Like, you better get in the studio tonight and make your diss track so I can hear it tomorrow. So you can say the whole wax era, Sub, it can be better with this internet era, because we're getting the music faster. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, bro, but I don't like sometimes, like, for instance, like Pusha T took his time to create it, bro. The first disc, the Adonis, so whatever it was, bro, the one when he revealed his son, you could tell lyrically and structurally, and what he was talking about, he took his time to research it. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? And do what he needs to do. When I see people saying, oh, I want this track tomorrow or this and that, what can you physically do, bro, in 24 hours? Not much if you've got 6 months time or a month's time or 2 weeks, bro, to do it in. To me, when I'm hearing rushed music, it's garbage, bro. There's nothing behind it. But if you can sit back, understand, and see where you're going, and that this is like elements with the battle rap as well, bro, you can do more damage sitting back for a month or so, gaining more evidence, and then going straight at the throat.
No, I definitely agree. Seven, I see you in the building. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
What's going on?
Hi, bro. Seven.
What's up, Queen? What's up, Sub? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Seven? Good evening, my brother. How you doing? Many blessings to you, my brother.
Listen, having a hip hop conversation. I would love for you to please educate us, educate me.
Wait,
What
let
were
me
you
tell you
thinking
something
about the
about.
status of hip hop?
Let
Talk
me
to
tell you
me.
something about diss tracks real quick. So the first diss track I ever heard was from Paula Abdul to Janet Jackson, and it's supposed her
Paula
daughter
Abdul.
pregnant.
Wow, I forgot about that one.
Paula Abdul. Paula Abdul.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I'm,
And then Michael Jackson used to date
I'm
her.
sorry.
Janet Jackson
I'm
used to be
a
best
little
friends,
high
and
right
she
now.
wrote a song exposing Janet
Sorry.
Jackson for being pregnant.
I'm sorry. I'm just a little hot.
I'm over
Paula
here
Abdul had a
flabbergasted.
diss track.
Yeah. It was on her last album. What was it? Spellbound.
That's low key kind of dope. That's why I'm
What?
laughing. I'm like, that's kind of dope. Like,
No, like it's deep. It's subliminal. But if you listen to it, you would know who she's talking about.
you know who was shady like that too? You'll appreciate this, Tandra. You know who was shady like that too? Prince. Prince was a shady dude.
Yep.
Prince will hit you with that shit. Hey, the game. Listen, man. You know I love you, brother. You know I love
He's
you.
got issues going on. He is something. His
Yeah.
computer is on. Then he can, and I told him go into when he comes into the studio. You know, StreamYard studio. That he has to press his cam and mic settings to fix it. But his whole thing resetted. I don't
Yes,
know what's going on.
James, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Listen to Tandra, man, because I really want you in this hip hop conversation. But there's nothing much I can do on my end, bro. So
And all I can do is step by step is it just hit Chrome, go up and press the three little dots, check the desktop site, and then YouTube. Go into YouTube, and then Jordan's Live, and then hit the link. Go into the lobby where you're setting up. It'll give you a chance to make sure your mic and cam are both working, but you don't have to worry about your cam.
right.
And you can change your mic setting or your your mic settings on that little what is it, preview or test or whatever. You can change it there, and then you should be good.
There we go. There you go. So please, game, please get it together. Please. 7. I gotta know from an OG. I gotta know your greatest artist of all time. What is your favorite artist of all time?
This is deja vu to me. Only reason because when I first talked to Bless One, this is what we talked about, and I called in and told him who my all-time favorite hip-hop artist was. So it's deja vu, but to make it short and simple, it's the God MC, Rakim.
I said what? 7. I fucking love you, my dude. What did I say?
I tilt my hat off to you, 7.
Sub, didn't I told you? I know I was born in 91, but didn't I say one of my favorite all-time groups was Eric B and Rakim? Man, I'm telling you, bro. The hip-hop historian is in here.
Yeah,
yes.
I have a lot of favorites. The reason I really came on because I kind of got insulted by Queen T with Eminem, but not seriously.
Whoa.
I'm playing. I said it in the chat. You said Eminem is from the hood. I was like, he's not from the hood. But then Jordan said he's from the trailer park, which is across 8 Mile, which is true. He used to always come to St. Francis, that's like near downtown Detroit, and battle rap. So he wasn't. But
what I'm saying is like,
we loved him in the hood. Like he could hang around, he could travel through the hood. You know him and rest in peace, Proof. You know what I'm saying? It was like he got love in the hood, no doubt, because he could spit. But I was just saying, like, he didn't grow up in the hood. I just kind of got.
No, what I'm saying is like from the hood is like he was accepted there. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his people. So when it says from the hood, it's like he grew up in the streets is what I'm trying to say. Like he was at.
I was just playing. I wanted to come and get some energy and shake things up because we got your boy 7 the Scientist in the house.
I know.
Man, for real. You already got me hyped when you said Rakim, man. Let me tell you something, man. My mother, man, a guy. You know, I love my mother, man. Me and her don't have the best relationship, man. But she used to listen to Eric B and Rakim for hours at a time, and I used to be rocking right beside her. Eric B and Rakim is some of the most underrated, one of the most underrated hip hop groups in history. And to hear somebody say their name, it excites me so much, bro. That's how I got hype.
Yeah, but the next up will be Eminem. See, that's my. If I gave you my top 5, it would probably be Rakim, Eminem, and then I go into the Biggie, Pacs, and the Jay-Z. And
whoa. Come on. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Wow.
7.
I love you like my OG 7, but come on, OG, please.
I had to shake y'all up.
Man.
Man.
Oh, come on, fam. You had to do us like that, man. Shit.
7, you took the car, you was driving straight, then you took that strong left, brother.
Right off the cliff, man. Bringing Jay-Z in the conversation is not okay.
Hang on.
I agree 100% with you, Tandra. Bringing Jay-Z into a conversation with me is a no-go.
Well, hold on. I wasn't even talking about Jay-Z. I was speaking on how you had Eminem at number 2. I'm trying to understand how Eminem was number 2.
Listen, Jordan, can I just say something in respect to my OG? In respect to my OG, yeah, I can see where he's coming from because you got to think of we are in different eras, bro. You got different generations of hip hop here, though, because maybe when he was your age or so, that's who he came up with, bro. Do you know what I mean, though? Because like one of my favorites is Tupac and so is Eminem, but I can't place them in the top 5. I've got so many artists that have influenced me, I cannot pin them.
Top 5 is 100% cool, but when he said Rakim and then followed it up with Eminem, I said, "Oh, 7. What makes him number 2? What makes him the number 2 greatest for you, 7? I gotta know that, if you don't mind me asking."
I know.
I'm sorry, I got a call. I know I was gonna shake y'all up. What makes him my number 2 over like Biggie and all the other guys? Just his I guess because me like being such a strong reader, and I just like his wordplay and how he arranges words and his lyrics. I think that's just how he can play with words, and how he kind of raps.
Okay.
His styles and how he flip his words and tell his story. I think that's
okay. Because he's an all-time great. I don't want to take that away from you. He's an all-time great. It's just when you said Rakim and then Eminem, I was like, oh, snap, 7. Now my panel here, Sub and Tandra, had a problem.
I get that reaction all the time, y'all.
When you say Jay-Z, they had an issue. Now, why do you put Jay-Z as one of your top, if you don't mind me asking?
Jay-Z is one of the top 5. He's not really a big. Well, I put the 3 at number 3. Like I can't go Biggie, Tupac. I just put them on. I know people hate that, but I can't make a choice on them.
That's fine. I understand that.
I understand that too.
I understand that. Trust me, I understand that. You don't even got.
Jay-Z is not really my favorite artist. He's like my Will Smith. He's just one of the intelligent lyricists that tell real life stuff. And I just like the way he moved. Like Jay-Z, he never do like too many interviews. If it's controversy or anything going on with Jay-Z, what he do? He put it in the album. You know what I'm saying?
Very
music.
true.
He don't answer too much because people don't really get no response about Jay-Z.
Well,
about
I don't think anybody really cares
something.
to hear from him either. Just saying.
No, that's true.
But man, I could go through the list, man. Like Andre 3000, man. I got them all, but personally, for me, that's my top. And I get the ridicule. I get the barbershop talk. And
even for me, man.
Hey, why don't we have a barbershop talk right now about the great artists? Because I want to ask you, 7, being an OG, yeah? What do you think of Scarface and the Ghetto Boys?
See, and I heard y'all talk about MG8 and all them, MC8, 8-Ball, MJG, sorry, from Tennessee. When they meant Tennessee, I remember I got a cassette tape from them. And
was that the original demo back in the early 90s, bro?
I mean, like MJG, Scarface, all the guys down south. they was lyrics silking and street talk. I dig them too, and they like in my top 10. Like even I'll be talking about like a lot of people, and I was kind of happy that y'all even knew who MJG was and 8Ball and all
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I remember when they first came out.
I was late to the game with them. I'm gonna be honest.
they worked with DJ Quick
Yeah,
long
man. They
before
first
they even
tape.
got their first deal.
Yeah. I mean, but they not really lyricists. A lot of my top 10 or 20 might be those innovators, those shakers and movers. They don't always have to be about album sales, or it was just them people who influenced the culture the most at that time, who might have made a big impact on the culture or changed the culture of hip hop.
I get that. I get that. So what about new age rap?
I love
Who
the
would you
mumble
pick?
rap stuff. I understand it actually.
Wow.
I mean, I guess because I'm around kids a lot and I stay in tune to the streets, and I can decipher all that, what they be saying in their lingo.
Yeah, like, I can.
Our lingo back in the day is different. Like it's a generational gap. Like I'm gonna give you a quick story about lyrics. Like I had told my daughter one time, we was in Detroit, we driving through Belle Isle, and I was like, yeah, I remember when I drove back here by the Detroit Zoo part, I was necking. And she said, necking? She said, Dad. I was like, what? She's like, that's oral sex. I was like, no, necking back then was us touching and fondling and kissing. So, I stay in tune with the lingo and the slang. So I like the new generation rap, but only person I can say that's new that I really dig now is like a Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole type. Because my mindset. But I like the baby. I like his song. He was on Saturday Night Live. I dig that.
Respect. Yo, I just gotta let y'all know. I'm sorry, y'all.
I even like
got the game in here. What up, the game? What's good?
Are you in here, finally?
What up, gang?
Are you talking?
Hello, unmute your mic.
Yeah, it might be. Hey, y'all, I gotta leave. Hey, I love y'all all. Positive energy, positive vibes. Hey, Jordan, good live, man. Sub, Queen. Peace to y'all.
Take it easy, 7.
Take care. Much love, Sub.
Right, y'all too. Love
7.
y'all.
Much love.
Word up.
Gang, we gonna get it right sometimes, man. We gonna get it right sometimes.
No, I heard him. I heard him.
Are you in here, brother? Because if you are, it's low.
He said hello, but maybe he shut up his mic again. Game. E.T. phone home.
Hello. Anybody there? I said hello.
He'll talk to us.
Elliot.
So, okay, Jordan. Then. I got a question to ask you then.
I'm listening.
Since you grew up in the 2000s, yeah? Did you pick up on more of the mainstream hip hop that you would like, or more of the underground, bro?
I picked up on more of the mainstream hip hop while at the same time respecting the underground hip hop. I'll tell you why. Because I listen to a lot of the radio, and if you see, how I use my platform, I try to mimic it in a video. You know how a show plays a bunch of videos, like a video countdown show. I watched a lot of that. So I would say it got influenced from the mainstream, but I say this, I got my respect from the underground because there was a lot of artists that I did not know had the best music underground. Not only that.
I love you said that. I'm
just saying that. Not only that, there is no better feeling in the world than knowing and hearing and listening to an underground artist, and then they got that single and it pops. And then now all of a sudden they're mainstream. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, you hear this guy? I knew about him 8 months ago. You're just now getting on him. That's what I like. That's what I like. But I love the underground.
And that's the thing, though, bro, because correct me if I'm wrong, Tandra, and the game. The way the 90s was predicated as well with the way the music were coming from the underground, if it was popping on the streets as well, it started gaining more. Because I started telling stories about, for instance, songs that were only popping in the strip club would be more like a street element for sales. And then stuff in the main clubs, like you would go to with whatever's playing, you'd hear that side of stuff. Because that's what I noticed within the types of hip hop that was being played. Because I always had a fascination with the underground. Because even learning and coming up through the 90s and understanding East Coast underground, I knew every side had it. It was just trying to see or understand who was a part of it to learn from and understand the history behind it.
So I'll just say you're one of the most like objective people that I've ever met, because what you just said is 100% true. There was a saying at one point where if your music wasn't hitting in the club, your music wasn't going to be a hit. A lot of people base their music on or how successful their music was to how the club was responding to said music. So you're right.
That's why the government had a big problem with Tupac and all the others. It's because they were telling kids in their songs to be like them and go commit crimes and go shoot up people. And in all actuality, no, it was the other way around. They were telling you a story so you won't do that.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. How you doing, Digger?
Hey, what's going on?
Bro, you're gonna have to, if you're on your Bluetooth, bro, you may have to speak a bit loudly because you're a bit quiet in the background for me.
All right, is there a setting for the mic?
Sorry, bro, say that again?
I think you muted it. Oh, there you go.
What was there a setting on the mic where you can turn the mic up?
Jordan, just to say with that though, because what I learned from that about the whole club stuff was when I started to understand Memphis music, because I came up a lot through like 3 6 Mafia and the label Prophet Entertainment and the stuff that they were doing with their solo projects as well, Hypnotized Minds.
I want to thank y'all for keeping the music playing, and for y'all to keeping it going. I had to get my pizza. I'm so hungry. Thank you guys. Woo! Okay. Did I miss anything substantial? The game left?
I think he's having mic issues, bro.
Oh, he's having mic issues.
Yeah. Talk
to me.
What I was just saying, I was just wanting to give you your response to what you said about the clubs, bro.
Yes,
the reason I understood that is because I got introduced to Memphis music, as I said previously, through 3 6. But obviously, I'd already heard the No Limits and the Cash Money, but I'd always understood there was an element of clubs behind it, but not what it was and how relevant it was within hip hop.
And sometimes it still is, man. Like the Baby, he's a big artist right now, but you know what? The majority of the songs that play his, it's in the clubs. You know, clubs today still have a big part in breaking, artists. But the crazy thing about it is, it's not like how it used to be. You know how it used. Y'all know how it used to be. Y'all older than me. Y'all know how it used to be. You had to go to every single place that'll let you perform and grind. You had to grind your single out. You had to grind your album out. You had to tour. You had to play one song. Then you might have to play 2 songs a night. They don't have to do that now with the internet, man. It's crazy.
And that's the flip reversal of why the internet has sort of destroyed the music industry and the passion and push for music to be put out properly. Because there's far too much to pick from now, bro.
That's wild. Because I definitely think
There's not too much to pick on because, most of it's garbage. If they pick, really music, then we'd be okay. It seems like ever since the internet, everybody wants to be a star and everybody thinks they can sing, act, whatever.
I agree.
and then they can't handle it.
Yeah. Once they finally, get to that spot, they're like, oh shit, what did I do? Well, you asked for it, you got it. Toyota.
One of the worst kind of artists for me that was like that, Tandra, that I never want to hear from again is Little Xan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hated that man for everything he represented, for everything that he presented, his music. It just told the people who listen to him, do drugs. Just do drugs.
Then, it makes perfect sense, why his name is the way it is, because he is a little Zanny popper. But anyways, anybody that,
I wasn't the only one who thought that.
Really,
thank you, Queen.
Doesn't really understand Tupac and says he's boring is someone that should not be in the music industry because Tupac was one of the godfathers. Just because he wasn't talking about popping a Xan, popping a perk, doing some lean, doesn't mean he's not great.
And anybody who will say that Tupac didn't have club music, they just don't know music in general.
Right?
Agreed.
That's what I'm saying. He shouldn't have been in that. He shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
He doesn't know shit.
You could be the shittiest DJ in the world, and all you got to do is play How Do You Want It, and the club will go insane.
Yep.
I'll tell you what as well, though, even if you played Ambitions as a rider, as soon as it drops, everybody's going to go crazy.
Like, so we're not going to sit here and act like Tupac wasn't somebody who just made one type of music like a California Love. Oh, no. That man was an artiste.
Do you know, I don't know if stuff else, but do you know he was trying to come out with a pop album?
Who?
He was trying to pop. He was trying to come out with a pop album.
A pop album.
I can see that
because he loved Prince. He used to act like Prince when he was younger, singing and stuff. And so he really wanted to come out with a pop album. That's why he kind of did that Fame song, was to kind of, show some of his singing ability, even though he's, not the greatest at keeping a tune. When there's no music playing, but I guarantee if there was music playing, it'd be a different story. You know what I mean? So yeah, he wanted to do that in tribute. That's kind of why he did Human Nature, redid Human Nature, because that's why he was trying to go to pop, just to do one album there.
True. Let me get a cup. Y'all go ahead and keep talking. Let me get a cup. Hang on. I'm sorry, y'all. Keep talking, y'all.
But did you know that, Seth?
So, who did you say? I heard everything, but my phone cut out. Who
was wanting to come out with a pop album.
Who was?
Tupac.
Yes, I did, because I sort of noticed it with how certain directions of what he used to do was coming out. Because, for instance, Dear Mama, to me, even though it's a very personal song, was a pop hip-hop song.
Yeah.
Because it was showing love. Do you know what I mean? The same as Brenda's Got a Baby.
Exactly.
Letter to My Own Bone and stuff. So, yes, I see you, though, because even within the production, from what I've heard from Johnny J, and how they were coming, don't forget, Johnny J had done pop music previously. He'd already had been in productions and dropped his own stuff.
Well, even one of his new either producers or engineer was actually did work for Prince. Tommy D. He worked for Prince.
Tommy D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, though. But it was, you know what it is, again, though, it was nice to see, like with Pac, he could take any type of genre within hip-hop, any type of genre within music and turn it into hip-hop.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't go overboard with it. if they were gonna do it. You know what I mean? They didn't. This is taking it to the extreme. Like they're really mixing up, basically heavy metal to hip hop.
Wait, what artist are we talking about?
We're still talking about
We're
Pac,
just
bro.
talking in general now, but I
Oh,
was
sorry.
saying his engineer, Tupac's engineer, when he was wanting to come out with a pop album, was actually Prince's old engineer.
Mm. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, Tandra. I mean, to play devil's advocate, I mean, if Aerosmith and Run DMC can make such a classic song,
Classic.
maybe Tupac could have made a.
Well, I know he probably could have. I'm not doubting that. But not a lot of people knew that he was trying to conquer all areas of it, not just.
Gotcha.
I mean, music. He
I
wanted
got you.
to, just try it once, basically, kind of stuff.
He was, see, with you saying that, Tandra, Jordan, the best way of saying it is he was branching out with his artistry instead of sticking with hip hop. He was doing everything. Because, like I said, bro, if you think about Dear Mama Brenda's Got a Baby, they are technically hip hop love songs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he always had like a poppy element, because I look at certain pop songs, well, majority of it these days is love songs, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's the same type of love song manufactured and recycled through.
It's Sting.
You got a call, Tandra? But yes, man. I definitely I just want to see better, man, and I just want to hear better from our artists going forward, man. And I feel like it really is up to us, I guess, the commentators or whatever you want to call us, to hold them accountable, man. I feel like, because I don't think a lot of people want to go through the same bullshit that we went through in the 2000s, in the 2010s, I should say.
Right. So who's going to grab the kahunas, educational purposes only, and do it though? Because at the end of the day, I was just thinking there with you saying that, yeah? Within the 90s into the 2000s, there was a variety of hip hop you could listen to.
Right.
These days, there isn't. But again, it's for instance, something like I was stating the last time we were talking about it, Jordan, something has to be substantial enough to break the cycle of what it is today and bring it in a new light. But how is it going to be done?
When you say that, there's only one artist that comes to mind. Honestly.
Who?
There's only one artist that comes to mind. His name is Kendrick Lamar.
I'll tell you something. Thank you for saying that, because overall, Kendrick Lamar is an artist for myself, as you would class as an old schooler with hip hop, was refreshing to hear and see be done. Because to me, what a lot of people may have realized but may not is, I would consider him, if I was coming up on hip hop, as the modern day Tupac.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because his messages were straightforward. He was preaching things. He wasn't cussing or doing this in certain ways. He was explaining things, though. Do you know what I mean, bro? And I still, to this day, will happily go and pick anything from Kendrick Lamar's albums, even the up-to-date ones, to what's out there now, bro.
I definitely agree. That's why I know for an artist, I've learned that for an artist, you're never gonna get a yearly album. You might not even get a 2-year album, a 3-year album, right? It takes time for an artist to work. I understand that, and I got patience. But as far as what we was just talking about, Sub, as far as making it so that it's on another level and it transforms all languages, I'm hoping and praying Kendrick Lamar has a year or a decade like Drake has had as an artist, man. I really do. I think Kendrick Lamar could be the one if he's focused on it.
I think he can do because with the way he's got his platform done, bro, because he hasn't really done a solo album yet. Because the last album that was out was the Black Panther soundtrack, I think it was.
Right. That was a compliment. That was a compliment. You know what I mean.
Compilation though, but it still
Right.
had new material on what I thought was some of the tracks on it were very good. And I mean, very good to hear, because I like the Paramedic track. That was unbelievable. And there was what was the other one I liked as well? I think there was this. He did a song with Swag Lee, didn't he?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's that track though, but the ex Saudi. That's it. I think it was 2 Chainz or Saudi or someone with Saudi, bro. Mm-hmm. That was awesome because what I like with what he's done is he's developed as a complete artist, bro, because I've heard a lot of material, even the stuff before he got signed to Aftermath. But what I will say for people who know him from Aftermath onwards, bro, how would you like it to drop a single with such impact as Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. One of my favorite songs. That song with, I can't think of this, Poetic Justice. That is one of my all-time favorite light up a blunt in the car joints to listen to. Is Poetic Justice by Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not gonna lie to you, because I don't like Drake. That's actually one of my least likely songs to listen to. But I do like the track though, because I would pick Money Trees over that, bro. I could, for instance, pick Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, that was a great album too. I just
no, it's a song as well, bro. On the album, it's a song called Good Kid, Mad City. It's 2 tracks in one.
When people make me think, man, when people say things to make me think, man, it's just great. It's all around smooth. And he said the line, if I told you that a flower, what did he say? If I told you what a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? Now, a lot of people think, oh, that's just a throwaway. That, to me, is artistry. I'm not even going to explain what he's saying in that. All I'm going to say is that when you have a track that you can groove to, grind to, yet still make you think, and also send a message out, man, oh man, oh man. That's the reason why I love music to death. That's the reason why I love music. Hey, Shameful, I wonder when go ahead.
Let me just ask you then, bro, yeah?
Talk to me.
When were you introduced to Rough Riders, bro? Or who introduced you to Rough Riders, I should say? As in which artist?
Now, are we talking about as like understanding music as a kid, or just overall listening, knowing about this person?
Overall, bro.
It would have to be my mom. My mother loved DMX. She loved the Rough Riders. She liked contemporary, what I would call contemporary hip hop or contemporary music. And she bought all his albums. Blood Is My Blood. I forgot how that goes.
Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Bone. There was It's Dark in Hell Is Hot, Grand Champ.
That one. I mean, all those albums. She was the one that definitely put me on the DMX, the Rough Riders. It was definitely her. As far as hip hop goes, for me, I definitely have to give respect to my mother. Definitely, she was a hip hop head. Now that I look back.
So basically you learned the same way that I did from what was hot out and around the time. Mm-hmm. And look back and like, what do you think is DMX as an artist, bro? I've got to ask, bro, because I've always got a valid reason to why I ask.
DMX is 5 people in here. Hope you hit the like button. Thank you very much for joining me, sub in the game. Game, I ain't heard you much, man. Hope you're still there, brother. Okay, see, I hear you, but you're low, my brother. I don't want you to think we're over talking you, man. If you're saying something to us, but you're kind of low,
No,
just to
no,
let you
I'm
know,
actually
man.
listening, man. Man, Sub is going
Oh,
off right now,
do your
man.
thing. Do
I'm
your thing.
listening.
Do your thing, then. Do your thing. To answer your question, Sub, DMX to me, and I don't want to shift the mood of this conversation, but he will always be regarded in my mind as one of the biggest tragedies in hip hop history.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He could have been a #1 selling artist. He could have been a very highly selling actor. He could have had a whole lot of businesses, Rough Rider wear, Rough Rider merchandise. However, sadly, drugs, tragedy,
Educational purposes only.
Educational purposes only, trauma derailed this man. Because I used to listen to a lot of his albums too, and you heard the hurt in his music. You heard he was hurting. You heard he was hurting. But he was doing those movies, man. He did the Seagal movie, and he did the other movie, and you was thinking to yourself, you was like, "Wow, this guy, he's gonna do it." And then them drugs, man. I think he's gonna be. I think he's one of the. I think he's definitely from the South, or not even from the South, but I think he's gonna be an all-time great as far as in the '90s. But for me, he'll always be a tragic case, man. Just tragic case. Tragic. I don't know if that was the answer you was trying to give me or you wanted me to give, but
no, that's a good answer because musically, bro, I've got to ask you a question, bro. Right? DMX's first album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. As soon as anything from that album dropped, even in the back of the 90s, bro, because I think it came out in 98, was it 98? Yeah, I think it was 98 it dropped, bro. His first album, yeah. I had such a high anticipation to hear his second album, bro. And as a fan, I was very let down by it. But I was redeemed by his third and fourth album. Because I don't know what the hell it was with it. It's flesh of my flesh, blood of my bone, bro. But there was only a couple of tracks, but bro, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, bro. I could just leave that in the CD player.
Right. And the game, I know you're listening, brother. What you think about DMX, man?
DMX was pretty hot. I mean, to me, you know what I'm saying?
We can hardly hear you, brother. Hardly.
I don't understand
that. Bro, are you on your tablet or desktop, bro? Because you might need to turn your microphone volume up.
Yeah, I'm on my tablet.
See if there's any audio thing anywhere that's within the tablet settings and see if there's like a volume for the microphone. You may just need to turn the microphone volume up.
Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. I'll be right back.
No problem.
No problem, man. No problem. But DMX, man, he's that's a sad case, man. And just thinking about that, man, just makes me very sad, man. Speaking of anticipation, I was anticipating. I can't even talk right now. Food's so good. I was anticipating his gospel album. He said he was gonna do. I said DMX and gospel.
I can't hear it, bro. To be brutally honest, it's too entrenched. I can't.
The messaging behind it, I can see it.
But if it's gonna be another Kanye one, then no, I don't want to hear it, bro. No offense to Kanye or DMX. I'm saying a little pattern of gospel hip hop albums re-emerging, bro. But if they're not done correctly, bro, I don't want to hear them because I'm not even a fan of the latest Kanye one either.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Jesus is King. It had a couple good songs in there. I think people just want. I don't know, man. I can't even speak to Kanye West on that one, man. I can't because I feel like sub. I feel like people, especially in America, man. I feel like we just in the times that we're living in right now. I really think people just want transparency. People just want people to just be honest, and we just can't. It's hard to accept that from Kanye, man. It's hard to accept that from Kanye. Just less than a year ago, you was talking about such a fucking hoe. I love it. You know what I mean? And I'm a fuck. I like a quick fuck. You was saying all that, and then now it's Sunday sermons, and it's this and that. So I get what you're saying. There's a way that it has to be done, and it has to be done respectfully.
You just said the word respectfully, though, bro. That's the difference. It has to be done respectfully. What I'm saying, though, like for instance, Pusha T had Daytona, the album out, and it's a good album, bro. But there was a song in there called Santeria, and it is a beautiful song that Kanye produced, bro. Because what he did is, if you remember, Lil' Kim's first album, Hardcore, she had a song on there called Drugs.
Oh, yeah.
You know the sample from there? Kanye redone it for Pusha T. You need to go peep that out, though, because you know the little mini albums that he was dropping. Well, Pusha T did one, and Kid Cudi did one as well. Man on the Moon and Daytona, and I can't remember what the Kanye West one was called.
I remember. We're talking about fucking Kanye, Kid Cudi. That's a whole nother 2.5 hour conversation in itself.
I'll tell you something, respects where respects is due, because I liked his very, very first album.
Respect to Kid Cudi because I liked his first album and I liked his first mixtape. But then I don't know what happened, man. It was just like he lost focus after Man on the Moon.
I do, bro. The whole relationship with me, the way I've worked it out is, you know, how his relationship with Kanye went a bit sour, bro. That was the reminiscence from it. Well, that was the backlash from it.
And you know what's so sad about that? I don't know who I was talking to. I think I was talking to one of my Xbox friends. But you know what's so sad about that shit too? No. Kanye West owes fucking Kid Cudi everything, and I'll tell you why. Half of 808s and Heartbreaks was Kid Cudi.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Of that
the choruses for the first 4 albums, right, were done by Kid Cudi, and he's not even credited for them, bro.
Now I didn't know about the first. I don't know about
bro, you know how the album
the college dropout, the late registration.
No. I'm on about 808. I'm on about 808, bro.
Okay,
the first 4
that's
tracks
what I'm talking about.
Bro, the choruses were all by Kid Cudi.
Oh,
and he did not get his due respects for it.
Oh yeah, of course, but he worked on the entire album with him. But I get what you're saying, though. The first 4 tracks, the choruses alone, was Cudi himself. You're right. That album was a Kid Cudi album, and so many people would not understand that. And I just don't think that Cudi was ever given his just due for that album. Because say what you want about 808s and Heartbreaks, and that album was shitted on at the time. Shitted on. People
I completely agree, but when I took a sit back, bro, and listened to it, I was just like, Kanye, I can't wait to see what the future's like.
Exactly, sub. That album was shitted on when that album came out. And what happened? Now we look at it, it's one of his greatest pieces of work. Thanks to
Kid Cudi.
Mr. Undercut himself, man. I'm waiting right now, man. I'm going to see how long we've been going. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Probably got another 10, 15, man. Maine the Milkman said he was supposed to be going on live. Oh, Queen T's back. Queen T's back. Queen T back. Queen T back. My bad, Queen T. But yeah.
Hey, who's gonna go live for my birthday? That's what I want to know. None of them.
When's your birthday?
Get out of my business. Thank you.
Oh, Queen T got some company.
No, it's my brother.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, T. Love you. Sorry.
No, I'm single as they come because of people like my brother.
I'm sorry, T.
Who cares if you're single or not? You're my brother. No one cares.
I was about to get excited. I was about to be like, ooh, T.
Get out of my face.
I was about to be like, ooh, T.
He pushes my buttons. I'm telling you what.
Listen, it be cold and things. It be cold in December. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I was born in December.
You wasn't you?
But he knows where the streets are. He can go stay there.
Oh, T, don't be like that. Come on. Oh, come on. Positive vibes.
He wouldn't be under my roof if I was like that.
Positive vibes, smiles, energy, and all that good stuff.
It smells like Tandra's butt gonna kick some ass.
That's what it sounded like right now. Scaring me.
Yeah.
You said who's gonna go live on your birthday? When is your birthday again?
Sunday. Not this Sunday, next.
Not this Sunday, but next.
The 29th, if I remember rightly, Tandra?
4th?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, the 29th. I'm stupid. The 29th.
You're not stupid.
Oh, well, I appreciate it, but I definitely had a stupid moment. But thank you.
Yeah.
The 29th. Shoot, I go live. I can go live then.
I just want somebody to go off so I can feel like I'm partying with somebody.
See, but that's the thing. People be having things to do on a Monday and stuff. Like, why can't your birthday be on a Sunday? Like a Friday?
Every year for the last 40, it'll be 41 years. Everybody has forgotten about my birthday. Don't care because they're finally over Christmas and they're excited for the stupid New Year.
Yeah, they want them W-2s too. That's what they're looking for too. They want them W-2s. You know, I go live for you, Tandra. You know I got you. I just
want to party for my birthday for once. Even if it's not, with humans in front of me. If it's humans on the other side and I can't touch them, I'm still cool with that.
I got you. Yeah, I'm wondering when Maine the Milkman is going live because he said he was going live. And that's what I'm waiting on, because that man, he does something, and I love Maine. And if he's listening, I love you, brother. You be doing something that I could never do. I could never just ask for donations, and for every donation I get, take a shot. I'm sorry.
Hell no.
I couldn't do that. I can't do it.
I'm a champ.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I understand why you do. It's completely entertaining. Let me just say that it's entertaining as hell. I'd be so, especially with the donations you get, I'd be so drunk every stream, and then you get those assholes who's gonna donate $20 to you, right? But they're gonna donate to you $20 20 times in ones.
Educational purposes, woman.
Yeah, so you can feel like it's cheap stripper.
Exactly, just so you can get drunk. I'm telling you, because if an asshole like me will think like that, there's another asshole out there thinking that way. I donate to you.
Behind every job.
So if you told me every donation you got, you was gonna take a shot, I'll donate $10 all in one, so you could take 10 shots. That's how much of an asshole I'd be. I don't want to do that. Oh my God, man!
I don't even. When I donated to him, I didn't even care if he did a
No, oh yes, salute the man. He never, and that's a new thing he does too, because of course, it makes sense. I mean, behind the bar, so it
Yeah.
does kind of make sense that he would
Yeah,
have.
instead of in the milk truck, he's behind bars.
There you go. So it kind of would make sense behind the bar. Okay, you donate, take a shot. So I'm just saying I couldn't do it, man, because woo, the way my
I
stomach.
know. The other night you were pretty lit.
Do we want to talk about it, T?
That was pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie.
Do we want to talk about it, Tandra?
Let's talk about it. We don't have to fight. Let's talk about it.
Hey, you know what's funny about it, Tandra? You gotta thank the game too, because if it wasn't for the game is the reason why I cut the stream off early.
Oh, I know. He told me.
Yeah, we had got into a conversation. He went out there, and I didn't went out there either. So I cut the stream off early. I probably would have continued on for about another hour. I don't know what the fuck I would have said. I probably would have got banned off this motherfucker or something. I'm telling you, I had about another
when
hour.
you're saying, you got up and maybe your little ass was showing. That was pretty funny.
Well, my ass was showing. That's what.
Did you cut it out?
No, I'm just saying that was part of the reason why when I put out the video, I edited that part because I had.
That's what I said. Did you cut that out?
Yeah, I cut it out.
I didn't get a free show.
Hell yeah, I cut it out, Tandra. I'm sorry, this YouTube. They
Oh,
don't want
goodness.
that.
Well,
I got to give me something to drink. My ass was out. I was like, oh shit, I gotta cut that out.
I'd be like, oh, he's enjoying himself today.
Oh no.
Yesterday you were pretty in a good mood, even though you were, in that scuffle. Or it was the other day, not yesterday, the day before.
Yeah. It was good. It was just
you were in cheerful spirit. So when you talked to me, and then you went, I was like, whoa, Jordan's going in. He ain't playing no more.
Oh, when I was on iSmoke stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's certain people who can get certain things out of me.
That's me.
Yeah, there's certain people that can get things out of me. You know what I'm saying? And that
He's one of them.
person,
yep.
He knows how to just push that button and just
He pushed that button. I'm a bitch. I'll tell you every day I'm a bitch. I'm proud of being a bitch. But when he, the way he said it and came at me, that's what put me in the freaking I'm going to jump down your throat type deal. Because you don't come at me when I'm being nice and asking you a nice, polite, respectful question. You don't pop up with, bitch. Oh, no. You're going to wake me up and we're going to have problems.
And that's exactly what happened with me, though, Queen. Exactly the way you just said it, like I've been saying. I was so respectful, though. Do you know what I mean? And then Jordan, as you know, with that hangout, it crossed the line.
Yeah. And then he gonna go ahead and invite some damn girls in the fucking what's it called? And I said, well, damn, if you gonna invite some girls in the hangout, at least get them on the call. I don't want to hear your punk ass talking the whole time. I want to hear some ladies talking. Bring the ladies on. That was starting to piss me off on some other shit. I'm like, bring the girls on.
It was probably Spivey's dumb bitch ass.
Oh boy, I think
Jordan,
she follows me.
That's
Jordan,
my biggest problem. Okay, it ain't him, it's her.
I think she unfollowed for me. I don't think she follows me no more.
Yeah, Jordan, she's a bed bug that you can't get rid of. I'm telling you.
Oh boy, talk to me,
Jordan, I'll tell you, that's the only reason I barked back at him and closed him straight down. It's just how he speaks, though, because I gave him a chance myself for him to speak to me, and he kept cussing me out, and every time I called him out, he just muted his call. And I just sat there peaceful, like, come on then, bro, I'm in a peaceful mood, just speak all that to me.
Right. And another thing is I was raised in North Carolina, but I was born in New York, right? So I have a lot of New York family. There's a way that we talk to each other, right? Where it's really about to get serious, And every time I talk to this guy and he has that little New York accent with it, it just takes me over the top there, T. every
So you
single
gotta
time.
fight. Yeah, you on that fight stance. I get it. Stand your ground too.
I just can't
Yeah,
stand it.
put it down.
But man, let me tell
I'm
you,
about to do that with my brother right now. I'm about to go smooth the freak off.
nah, I don't do it, don't do
Turn
it. But
it
what?
down, please.
Okay, so you was respectful with it. You said please.
I always say please and thank you.
There it is. But
But
yeah, man.
my child doesn't think I'm polite. I mean, I'm respectful, and my brother thinks I'm not respectful. But at the same time, I'm the only one that says please and thank you for everything I ask or
See, but
tell.
I'm gonna be honest with you, though, guys. The one thing that I just hate about it, especially when I'm on I Smoke Hip Hop's platform and y'all hear me take it to that level, is that I never wanted to come off like that's how I am on this platform on my channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's never like that with me. You know, you're never gonna hear the screaming and the cursing and whatnot. You always
Well, but
laugh.
there is a rah place. You know what I'm saying? Like he entertains it, you know, and he'll tell you straight out. He doesn't, hide that fact that he likes the rah. And you can tell by the way you speak, not when you're in controversy or whatever, but before it starts or whatever. You are very respectful. Like when you talk to Death of the Clout Chaser in the chat,
Yeah.
you were respectful with it. You didn't like be like, oh, what blah blah. You better not have problems with me or else, kind of deal. You weren't threatening or anything. You just said, hey, do we have a problem? That was
Only
it, and that was very respectful. And I think that still shows kids that you're respectful. Yeah.
and I asked him about that because Death of a Cloud Chaser and Presence and Maine, they're not, you know what I mean? I guess they're not. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess they're not the best of friends right now. And I had shouted Death of a Cloud Chaser name out because every time he's on Osmoke's channel, what does Osmoke say? Hey, salute to Death of a Cloud Chaser, right?
Yeah.
So I did the same thing on Prezzy's one, and Prezzy was just like, "Nah, Jordan, we can't do that." If you know, and you know what I mean. But he was trolling. It's Presence. He's a troll. So I knew he was trolling. But Maine the Milkman called up the Presence show and just blacked out on Death of a Cloud Chaser. So it kind of got me kind of in a middle sense because it's just like I rock with Maine, I rock with Prezzy, but I Smoke Hip Hop, he cool with Death of a Cloud Chaser. But another thing is Death of a Cloud Chaser is cool with Gotti too. So it's like,
well, if you actually listen to his wording, he's not cool with him. He's just doing what he needs to do.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you gave Death of a Cloud Chaser his credit because he did say that. He did
I'll
say
say the same as well. I'll say the same when I was listening to him.
He doesn't
Exactly,
think
he's
that Gotti
neutral.
is the shit
He's
or
balanced.
anything like that.
Exactly.
I'll give him his credit. He did say
I
that.
think before the end of the day, he would pick I Smoke. I'm just saying.
And y'all know how I am. Like if I have a question for somebody, like I'm gonna ask it direct. I asked it direct. He said neutral. That's it. Salute the Death of a Cloud Chaser. He alright with me. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm definitely with you guys.
Salute Death.
Yeah, because I noticed that yesterday by just the way he was kind of talking and stuff. It was more Gotti, on the bandwagon of Death of the Cloud Chaser, like riding his dick or something. But because he would get more
Educational purposes
Death
only.
of the Cloud Chaser, and he was like, I just keep neutral ground, because that's what I was told and stuff like that. But when Gotti would do certain stuff, like the way he said things were very subliminal in a way, saying like, I don't condone this shit, but I am doing an interview.
No, that's definitely true. Like I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? And that's what I just want to do as far as 2020 goes. I just want to know who my enemies, who my friends are, and who my allies are. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. Because when 2020 comes around, I'm going hard for the family. I know what Sub got in mind. Tandra, I believe, I know what you have in mind with your beautiful Survivor page. You know,
Well, I'm doing actually both. I'm going to do an advice channel or opinion channel kind of deal, and
right.
for like teens and stuff. And then on the other platform, so I don't get I don't get spanked and sent to the corner. I am doing it on BitChute, so.
Right. So, we got some plans for 2020. We all got plans for 2020. So I definitely wish, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could get Osmo Hip Hop on the phone because I would like to hear from him, you know what I'm saying? As far as his 2020 as well and what he may, what his goals might be for 2020 and how I can help him, achieve his goal in 2020. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we shall see. So I guess I'll go ahead and end this. What's this? 2 hours and 55 minutes. I guess I'll go ahead and end this stream right here. I know Behind the Bar said he'll be going on the panel family. Sub, are you gonna be sleeping?
I'll probably be up for another hour or two, though. But take it easy, everyone. Nice speaking with you all again. Blessings.
All right, hey, Sub, I might hit you up on the hangout afterwards if that's okay. If you're okay with that,
cool, no problem. Not a problem, bro. I'm still here.
Tundra game, if y'all want to invite to that too, that conversation, please feel free, okay? So listen, Sub, I appreciate you, family. Queen T, baby, you know you are always welcome here. You are family. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you.
The game, salute to you, man. I know you like to lurk and listen, man.
Man, I need to have knowledge, but oh yeah, Jordan, I'm gonna send because I'm sending everybody this link. But you gotta listen to the lectures Tupac did at the college when he was gonna teach.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said I need to send you the lectures that I'm sending everybody that I've talked to about Tupac when he wanted to teach college, a class in college.
Okay. Yeah, please send me that. Oh, Tandra, right before we go, I'm sorry. Can you tell me about the one where Tupac, he was talking and he was using a lot of cursing, and somebody came to him and was like, "Can you please stop cursing?" And then he was like, "Fuck that." What was that about?
He couldn't stop cussing like that. It just comes out. And then that's what he was trying to tell people is like, I curse, but I don't, I'm not thinking of cursing.
Right.
He goes, I'm just so passionate. It's like when I get in my mode and every other word's the F word, because you get so passionate in what you're trying to preach that it slips out a lot.
And guess what? It happens, sadly.
And he's a leader, not a follower, and that's another thing. They were trying to tell him what to do.
Right. All right, y'all. So listen, I appreciate y'all for joining me on this chat. Again, I'm gonna be calling y'all on the hangout, so be on the lookout, y'all. And listen, I'm gonna be Behind the Bar, Main the Milkman. He is going live tonight, so I'm gonna be checking that out. I hope y'all check that out. I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna be in the panel, and I'm gonna.
Ki might be going live too.
Who?
Ki.
I'm gonna be looking up for Ki too. I just subscribed to his channel, so I'm gonna be looking up for Ki's channel. I'm gonna leave y'all with this last here. MEYE, Criminal Behind the Bar. Salute everybody. Queen.
Salute everybody. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Love y'all. Y'all holla a good one. Holla at y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Much love.